both of y'all like we are probably pretty damn popular on Xbox. You know, as many times as y'all actually broadcast to Xbox.
Right.
It happens.
I know that. now we have a timer.
Refresh the page.
Ah,
There
okay.
we go. Hey, we're streaming to the red
There
service
we
now,
go.
ladies and gentlemen. Trigger warning explains the content. Oh my god! I hope I ear raped everybody that's listening.
Well, you definitely ear rape me.
I think you did.
Sorry.
So, Rambo has an Xbox One X, and you're gonna buy an S? What now?
Yeah, the S is actually still pretty cheap. They're still selling it for $189. And I thought,
Interesting.
well, at the Microsoft store at least. And I almost bought one tonight, but I think my wife was taking forever shopping for dresses and shoes. So, needless to say, she like closed down the fucking mall. And so we're gonna go back tomorrow because I have to get my hair cut before the Christmas party tomorrow night. So, I'm actually thinking about picking one up because right now, like the best comparisons are going to be like the Xbox One S version versus the Xbox One X version of the game.
Yeah.
And I can't really do those comparisons without actually having an Xbox One S.
Fair enough. Are you gonna actually keep it, or are you gonna give it away?
I don't know. I mean, I'd probably keep it for a while to get the the articles out of the way.
If you do a giveaway, wink, wink, I will always be happy to take it off your hands. Hell, I'll even pay for shipping.
But don't you have one?
Not for my bedroom. What? Nobody judge me, all right? 4K porn is a thing.
Well, upscaled 4K porn because it's not an X.
It doesn't matter. I can still see every detail in her ass crack. It's good. It's good.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's actually a good thing or not. just don't get makeup like not non-makeup porn because you don't want to be able to see them like really up close.
So we got some stuff to talk about today, you guys. Welcome to episode 36. You guys, so VidMe as of the 15th will be shutting their doors soon, and that kind of sucks. They said they're only suspending it temporarily, but I think we kind of know that that's not necessarily truthful. I mean, I hope it's truthful. I hope they come back. But if they do come back, I want them to be able to have a fully reworked site to the point where, like, members aren't having these ludicrous upload times and shit. Like, I want them to do really well, and I want them to be competitive to YouTube.
And they don't verify random gay vampire dogs?
Yeah, right? Because they, like, mistakenly got the wrong person, and when you call them out on it, they're like, we're just going to ignore that. Like, really? Come on, guys. But no, VidMe was a really good service. I liked it. I backed up some of my videos over there. Got some views. It was nice. And it was easy, too. Like, the way they had the whole thing where you could just import your URL over there, I thought that was really nice. And that was really useful. So, sorry, VidMe. I hope you guys come back stronger. I really do. I'm going to miss you guys. Because I sometimes
it could be an upgrade.
They
could be switching over to a bigger, like, server farm or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They needed more crowdfunding, and that was the problem, is that they weren't getting enough people supporting them financially. Because remember, they're trying to take on the behemoth fucking Google. So I mean, it's not really something that unless somebody like Bill Gates comes in and tries to take over the YouTube market.
Bro, what's up, man?
Or PewDiePie.
Or Elon Musk. Come on, man.
I'm not even.
All you fucking billionaires.
Sure PewDiePie. I don't think PewDiePie has enough to take on Google.
No, but they could fund VidMe for a long time and probably grow themselves in the process.
I just think that if they come back, I think we really ought. If we really want a competitor to YouTube, we really got to start thinking about not only uploading videos there, but also maybe seeing if we could help financially or anything like that. Even if it's something small, but something to where at least is some sort of investment into the thing. And maybe you can actually get into the ground floor to where you can actually become a part of the fucking journey,
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, even becoming an IPO member, like some of us are with Minds. Like, the thing is, I think we need more video hosting sites. to keep YouTube honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right now, there
definitely
really isn't much. There isn't much to offer. There's a few paid for services, but other than that, nobody uses those really. Like the only one that came close to even being a competitor was VidMe, because they had a pretty large community following, and those guys really kind of stuck to themselves, and they really just knew how to interact with their community, man. Like that's one thing I could give to VidMe, is they interact with their people. YouTube, they could care less. You know what I mean? There's so many people over here, dude, that they have an automated system to take care of everything for crying out loud.
Yeah, I mean, you're a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what they should be doing is hiring more hands, or even just doing a bunch of interns. Just say, hey, you're an intern, right? Come on in. Set up an entire freaking like warehouse damn near, like a huge ass office building, and load it up with interns and have them go in moderating, taking care of things. I mean, that's what they should be doing anyway.
Social media.
They should. That's what Twitter does. That's what almost every other major social media company does. And
Facebook started that way.
And I find it funny that YouTube doesn't want to do that. They're just like, we want to save as much money as possible. It's like, no, come on. Let's be honest here. You guys are just being fucking lazy. That's all it comes down to. You don't want to moderate your own damn selves. So you put in an AI that you think that is going to be good, that sets up an algorithm for our channels that get automatically flagged for stupid shit. Like, come on. Really think that's a good idea? You already have pissed off advertisers that wanted to pull out from you. Now you're going to chase away the actual content creators that have made it possible for those advertisers to be here in the first place. Kind of like shooting yourself in both feet, if you ask me.
Not wrong.
You're not wrong at all. Maybe we can get America Online back. And that way y'all's Hotmail will work.
Hotmail and AOL.
Hotmail still works, bro.
I know. The Hotmail was that MSN bullshit that was basically AOL's competitor.
Yeah.
But I would love to have that. You've got mail again.
Oh, man. So
AIM was pretty simple.
AIM was pretty good, actually. It wasn't too shabby. What's funny, dude, is I liked the AOL Messenger. Like, I thought that was actually pretty clever. You had a lot more features with it than you did.
Oh, yeah.
Yahoo Messenger
shit was kind of...
And fucking Yahoo Messenger and ICQ weren't bad.
ICQ was good. Yahoo Messenger was only good when you wanted to go into the adult hot tub rooms, if you know what I'm saying. It'd be like, ASL? Remember that shit? Age, sex, location?
Yep. So many nudes sent. Oh, my God.
I remember ASL.
I was the internet pussy slayer back in the day when I was 14.
It cracks me up. Have you ever got those messages anytime recently from somebody like, I say, on Xbox Live when they're trying to talk to you from a multiplayer match and they go ASL, and I'm like going, dude, you have to at least be 40 or something to even know what the fuck that even means. Like, why are you still using it? Like, we quit using that shit a long time ago, bud.
Yeah, man. So, what else is there to talk about, Rambo?
Let's see.
How has this week on Twitter been, sir?
It's actually not been too bad. It's actually been quite peaceful, other than the people we talked about before the cast. Yeah, I'm not gonna really bring them up again. But when it comes to some of these people, I thought I'd check into some of these people that were really, oh my God, EA is the worst company. Boycott them. I'm not playing their games. They're loot boxes. Fuck loot boxes. It's gambling. I thought, what better way to actually keep them honest than to check their profiles?
Yep.
And there's one guy, his name is Oh No, It's Alex.
Mm-hmm.
And I checked his Steam update, and here in the last, his recently played list, it shows that he's played Payday 2, PUBG, and what was the other one that was definitely a loot box ridden game? It was CSGO. And he's okay with CSGO and PUBG because you can resell the items, because that's all that really matters, is that he can make money off of it. And he said that Payday 2 is not a full wasn't a full price game, and I was like, well, it was at one point. So I mean, to me, if you're against loot boxes, you should be against them all the way together. Like if they're gambling, they're gambling. It's not like, well, they're gambling, but as long as I can make money off of it, I'm good. I mean, the message that people are sending is very mixed. Like, I don't understand why EA is getting all this shit. I do understand why they're getting shit, but you can't give EA shit, but then turn around and play Assassin's Creed Origins and be perfectly fine because it has loot boxes in it as well.
And
Shadow.
It's kind of been one of the main staples of our conversation when it comes to loot boxes.
Yeah,
right? Like it's been like you can't say EA is the fucking devil, and use them as the tip of the iceberg when you want to ignore the rest of the iceberg. It doesn't work.
It doesn't. Yeah, because I mean, no matter what, you're still in the fucking iceberg. And it's just so, I mean, it's so frustrating to see all these people that are like so anti-EA, but yet they're supporting all these other companies that do the exact same thing that EA is doing. It's just that EA is getting the shit into the stick. And I don't agree with what EA is doing at all. But at the same time is that if you're going to have your principles, then stick with them. Like show that you're actually committed to the whole cause of no loot boxes. Don't support CSGO. Don't support PUBG. Don't support Payday 2. Don't support any of these games that have loot boxes in them to show that, hey, you know what? There's plenty to play. Because people are like, well, there's plenty to play with games without loot boxes, but yet they're still playing games with loot boxes.
Yeah.
So if there's so much to play without them, show people, lead by example. I mean, if this is what you're wanting to do and this is the big message you're wanting to send the industry, lead by example. Otherwise, shut up.
Yep. Agreed. Like, I find it funny that these same guys that are saying that Battlefront 2 is a shitty game, it was pay to win, and all these other things, you're like, oh, CSGO! Let's do CSGO, guys!
Yeah.
Let's earn those loot boxes and pay for a fucking key to unlock them, when every other game that has loot boxes, besides fucking Payday, or was it Payday 2, I think, you know, you just earn the boxes and unlock them as you play. That's all you do, right? That's what Overwatch does. That's what I think Destiny 2 does, right? Like,
yep.
So, I mean, I don't know why that's such a bad business practice. I think that's actually a lot better than, hey, want to pay for a key? I don't care if it's $1. Yeah, you have to pay for it. That's my whole point, too. It's like, I don't care if it's a key that's $1 to $2. Like, you're still paying to unlock that bitch.
Yeah, I don't understand like, it seems like they're against it only if they don't like the game. Yeah. But if they like the game, then it's like, well, they always come up with a reason as to why all of a sudden it's pretty much okay in this instance.
Well, it's like this. If you don't like the fucking game, then don't buy it. Don't let me catch you on social media saying, you know, this game's actually pretty good.
Exactly. I mean, do that. I mean, I could get behind that if they were like, well, you know, the game sucks. I don't want to support it. Cool. Then I don't have to sit there and look at your account and see that you're basically a hypocrite because you're supporting other games with loot boxes, but like trying to call me out because I bought the fucking game. Well, I happen to like the game. I didn't think that, you know, the situation was as bad as what you made it out to be. So there's that. But they act like there's some sort of high and mighty thing, but then they're behind closed doors. They're doing the exact same shit that they're preaching against.
Yep. And that's shitty. That's a really shitty
thing to
do to people, you know? Just sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to be all high and mighty here. I'm going to look down my nose on you because you support some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's so fucking stupid. It's childish. Ah, man. But anyways, any good news besides?
Well, you can correct people on the PUBG
somebody thinks
thing.
that we're supporting loot boxes now. So I was like, wait, where did I say that in the video? Where did Rambo say that? I'm like, okay, I'm done with this conversation. If you guys can't fucking watch a video all the way through and actually, I don't know, understand it, then I don't see the point in continuously.
Yeah, I can't keep on repeating my fucking self.
Yeah, it's ludicrous, dude. It's absolutely.
It's pretty fucking. Our videos were pretty much self-explanatory, and if you can't, I mean.
Oh man, Shay, do you have anything you want to talk about? Huh? Like the gangbang that you were in with a bunch of guys in a hot tub last week.
Bro.
No, I don't.
We always knew that was something about you. Oh, that must have been really good if you don't remember it.
I think that Rufinol he took like really did the trick. I mean, he didn't even complain about his ass hurting or anything. So
that's pretty decent. Yeah. You might want to actually let Pete know because I think he's been kind of questioning that.
Jay Caesar says, what did you guys think about the tax plan getting a green light? What tax plan? Trump's tax plan?
It got a green light in the Congress, though, didn't it? I mean, did it actually go through the Senate and get a green light on that? Because if it did, that's actually pretty big news. But
is that is it which tax plan? Because from my understanding, he's changed it again.
It's I mean, it's not the same tax plan. I don't think we could actually even tell you what the tax plan is because it's changed so many times because of all the different concessions everybody had to have with it.
Yeah.
That it's not really so much the same tax plan that we were originally told. So I don't know. He'd have to explain a little bit more on that because from what I understand, the tax plan that I guess Nancy Pelosi and Schumer was supposed to come to the White House and talk about, that didn't go through because they never showed up. And so they had enough.
They just never showed up for it.
Yeah, they just didn't show up at all. Didn't say that they weren't coming or anything like that. They just didn't show up. And when it comes to what's it called? They said they had enough votes to get through the Congress, but when it comes to the Senate, I mean, that's where good old fashioned Vietnam War veteran is in there, and he'll do anything he can to block Trump. So he's one of them Republicans that really I think he's more of a centrist than a Republican. Yeah. And so he's like doing basically anything he can do to spite Trump. So I don't think it's ever going to, and nothing's really going to pass the Senate that Trump wants to pass.
Oh, Hawaii tested their nuke alarm system.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Hawaii's tested their nuke. I was like, that's going to be interesting.
Damn, Hawaii, that escalated quick.
Yeah, it's like shit, man. Like,
I didn't even know they wanted to secede or anything.
Yeah, they're like going, fuck it, man. We're out of here.
Right? They're just like, yo, fuck
and
everybody.
Fuck you, North Korea. We got a nuke right here waiting for you.
Like, they're straight like, we don't give a fuck. You guys are all fucked now. Like,
yeah, they definitely went above and beyond. Yeah, I saw that. I saw something. I didn't know it was Hawaii, but I saw something on the news today that they tested their nuclear alarm, or that hasn't gone off since the Cold War.
Yeah, well, since the 80s was the last time they tested it.
Yeah, and that was because of what's going on with North Korea.
North Korea, yeah.
That right there should tell you that the threat is fucking real.
North Korea. I hate how they say Korea over there. Like North Korea. I'm like, no. Shut the fuck up. There's no R at the end of it, okay? It's EA. It's in the game. Dude. That shit is insane, though. Think about that shit. Can you imagine, dude? Hawaii's like, you know what?
Duck and cover.
We fucking hate everybody. Guess what? Mass launch. Fuck you all.
Dude, like 100,000 people will die if it hits land.
That's it? A little bit?
Well, and then like another 100 to 200,000 will be injured, like, severely.
Well, if we're talking about Hawaii, I mean, that's okay.
There's almost 2 million people there.
Well, no, I mean, we can stand to lose a few, is what I'm saying.
Jay Caesar, Paladins have had loot boxes. I don't know why everybody thought that was new. They've had, but
it's a free to play.
It's a free to play, yeah.
It should have loot boxes.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is you don't have to pay for keys to unlock those You do it all within game, so you don't have to use any money. The loot boxes have been there since day one. I know because I'm a day one beta tester. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Same here.
Yep. Let's see. What else is there? Is there anything exciting going on in the industry that we don't know about yet? Any new releases? Something? Jesus Christ.
Rumored that Devil May Cry 5 is going to be exclusive to PlayStation 4 and PC.
DMC, okay, so DMCA 5, right? Are we gonna go off of traditional Dante or the new Dante?
We don't even know. It's just the room right now. All we know is the rumor for what's it called? The rumor for the game is just going to be exclusive. We don't know anything about the game, and I'm sure that from what we're gathering, is we're probably going to hear or see something at PSX or the Game Awards show.
For your guys' sake, I hope it's traditional Dante, not that new emo fuck.
Well, my guess is it's probably going to be the emo fuck because of the fact that
Definitive Edition is that the emo fuck?
Yeah.
I kind of like him.
Original Dante is just something I'm used to. That's why I never really meshed well with the new Dante. Everybody kind of liked him. I didn't.
Yeah, see, I never played Devil May Cry back in the day. So whenever I played the Definitive Edition, I actually enjoyed the Definitive Edition. I kind of liked the new Dante myself, but I to be fair, I never really played the other one.
Ooh,
so no,
Caesar, I hope it's original, man. So here's the thing. I played a lot of these games. I played the first one. I played the third one. I skipped the second one because everybody said it sucked. And I don't know, man. I love those games. I love the first and the third. And like the cocky son of a bitch is amazing. Like I love how cocky he is. He's a shit talker when it comes to like massive demons trying to kill him. The comedy is awesome. I mean, it's just overall over the top, crazy. Matrix meets a shit talking badass, and it's pretty badass. I mean, he's a half demon that his father is like the leader of hell, you know. Wait, what? Original Dante is way hotter, right, Brim? Yeah, totally hot. I like hot. You guys know that.
Fucking figures.
Fucking.
No, but seriously, the action and the combat system. Now I heard the new Dante, the new DMC, the definitive. The combat is pretty fucking epic.
Yeah, I thought so. It was a lot of fun.
I heard the fourth one was pretty good for PC, and I never really played it because I was just so jaded with what they did with 2. So, let's see. It's not just Dante that got fucked. Look at what happened with Mundus. Fucking disgraceful. Yeah. I agree. Do you have AC Origins? No, Ogre. I do not have AC Origins, sir.
I do. Why, Ogre? Why?
Do you have loot boxes?
Yes, it has loot boxes.
Oh, really?
Yes. But they're not required. I mean, it's not. You can't even buy them with real cash.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's not too bad, right? Like,
I don't even think. I honestly don't even think it's bad if they can buy them with real cash because. Like the only thing people are complaining about is the reason why, because, oh my god, I have to actually grind for 10 hours instead of being able to get it in 2. Like, well, shit, dude, it's not really that big of a deal.
You know, I kind of want to touch on that a little bit, Rambo. Like, I know we've been talking to death about this topic, but like, I really want to talk on this one part. If the game's not good enough for you to not buy loot boxes, in your opinion, then why did you buy the game?
Exactly.
Why didn't you just rent it and check it out first? You know what I mean? Because most of these complaints are coming from console gamers, and the other half is sort of PC. I wouldn't say it's all PC guys because there's quite a few PC guys that have told me that the game is actually good, right? So yep. I'm looking at it this way: like, if you think that you should be able to buy this shit first, and you don't really have time to unlock it, like. Then to me that tells me that you don't think the game's that good. So therefore the uproar shouldn't exist. You know what I mean? So right now the uproar exists based on other people's personal choices, and that's where it's all coming from. It's not so much your or my personal choice, it's everybody else's in a general sense on a wider spectrum of things. So people are bitching in an uproar because EA is catering to a market that exists. And that's what people like to ignore, is EA has a fucking market that exists based on this fucking practice. And I hate having to remind people that, because it feels like they are willfully ignoring the facts here. You know, they think the facts should just be ignored and say to hell with loot boxes. And on a perfect world, that would be great. But that is not how market share works, and that's not how business works.
People don't ignore facts.
Yeah, come on,
come on. That's not really fair, man.
Lies, slander.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I don't really understand. Like I've tried to have a conversation with people that play the hell out of Overwatch, and try to explain to them, by you playing that game, is giving EA more reason to do what they're doing. So I mean, like you're kind of going against yourself by saying, well, this is okay and this isn't, and it's just I've gotten tired of just having the conversation because it's like nobody will use any sort of fact and logic with it. They just want to take their feelings. They're all about their feelings, and it's just getting to the point of how many times can you say something over and over again before it becomes like you become the stupid person.
Absolutely, and Redjeek, I agree with you. For instance, Paladins and Overwatch are prime examples as to why it works so well. Even the old school Battlefield, like Battlefield 3 and 4, are examples as to why it works. I mean, there really isn't anything else we could talk about in covering this topic, really.
No, and Redjeek, like that. I mean, the thing is, it was like it's one thing that if the things are done right, whatever, like that, but. And that's cool and all. I mean, I agree. I mean, if the things are done right, that's great. But to basically willingly say that some of the gamers need to boycott it or whatever, or they're called they're called names because they decide to go ahead and buy the game. I think that's where it's becoming a line that shouldn't be crossed. I don't think that if I buy Battlefront 2. I'm not supposedly the death of the industry and everything else because I bought Battlefront 2. I don't have to buy loot boxes. Just because I buy the game does not mean... Huh?
Don't sugarcoat it.
Oh. Just because I did that doesn't mean I bought, I have to buy the loot boxes. And that's where I think that I'm getting more of the I guess the hate for the community is that they seem to be holier than thou. Because they're supporting the ones that they say quote as done right, but they don't realize that by supporting that you're supporting loot boxes regardless of whichever way it's done. And they don't seem to realize that. I mean, I don't know how, because every time EA puts out their quarterly reports, or Microsoft or anybody, you'll see a line item that say, we made this much money in sales of software, this much money in microtransactions. Well, they're two different line items. So there's a way to hit that pocketbook without actually forgoing the game. And if you cannot get that through your head as a consumer, then I don't know how much more talking that I could do to be able to make the person understand that. So those are the people I have a problem with. Those people like that. Like you, basically saying that they're done right, but you're not harping on me because I bought Battlefront 2. So I can fully agree and appreciate your opinion, because you're keeping your opinion as the way it should be, logical. You're keeping it personal with your own personal beliefs, and you're not projecting your own personal beliefs onto somebody else. So that I can fully get behind.
Ogre, I wish it would stop. Trust me. Rambo wishes it would stop. A lot of people wish this would stop already.
Do I ever?
I thought you liked it. I mean, I'm just saying.
I did in the beginning. It was kind of fun. But now, no, not so much.
Come on, dude. I thought this was your jam.
Twitter is just the more after what I saw the other day, last night, or I think it was yesterday or last night. I've really lost all hope in the human race, completely.
Again, hasn't that happened to you 6 times already?
Oh, but this one actually.
This one's for sure.
This is for sure. A black girl.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Yep, go ahead.
Trying to tell the people how Hitler was really not that bad of a guy. That he actually would have been pretty decent in today's day and time. I was like, what?
I don't know about decent, but he would have fit in.
but a black girl, somehow in her post she made it look like that he would have been okay with her.
Bro,
I'm like, you would have been the first one to fucking die.
Bro, when you
I was
up there, dude, I was
you definitely ain't got blonde hair and blue eyes. You're done, bitch.
Yeah, I was when I saw that, I was like, I can't. I just simply when it became, it was beyond. I've never in my life ever thought I would see a black person at any point celebrate Hitler. I mean, it just.
Dude, that
I couldn't.
Hilarious. Well, I was kind of shocked too because I saw your tweet first, so I was like, no, no, this can't be real. This can't be fucking real.
And then you read it.
I read it and I was like, no,
it was real.
Trolling, right? Like,
no, and if you went through like after her like long thread, if you actually went through there and there's some replies where she's actually arguing with people that she's stupid. Like she's like people are saying, dude, you're like a dumb bitch, and she's trying to tell them how she's not, like how they're dumb and she's right. I don't know what fucking history book she read, or.
So she's like she's literally like the black equivalent of those trolls that go, Hitler did nothing wrong.
Yeah, except she believes it.
Oh my fucking god!
I mean, I'm like going. I personally, like me myself, like with my jawline, I might have a chance of surviving Hitler's little escapade, but I probably wouldn't even survive fucking Hitler's escapade, much less her. And I don't know why the hell any black person would be thinking, oh, this would be a great idea to have Hitler back. He was a good guy, guys.
Bro, they can just teach him to be woke, yo.
He just wanted to get rid of the people that wanted to hurt him. That's all, guys, really. He wasn't really mean. He just was. It was self-defense.
Bro, like this.
I just was floored. I like at that point. I mean, humanity is gone. Like.
When I saw that shit, I was just like beside myself, dude. I was like,
I was speechless.
What? Like, wait a minute.
I read it like 3 times, the whole fucking thread, before I even made that post, because I had to go back and make sure that I was like, did I actually read what I wrote? And I mean, what I read, and I kept reading through it, and I'm like going, there's got to be something in here I'm missing where that lady goes like psych or something. No, like this lady was for fucking real. And I just
fucking...
yeah, I couldn't. I just couldn't fathom the idea. Like I've seen some stupid white people do it,
well,
which makes
those guys.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense because white people and Hitler, kind of go together. But
this guy.
Well, no, I mean if let's put it this way: if you're gonna like say that Hitler is a good guy, you damn sure better be at least white. I mean, like, because that's the only chance you have for surviving. So I like when I saw a black person do it, I was like, how do you get to that point? Like, to where I don't know. I just don't know how you get to that point. I really. Either our school system, the school system, like we talked last time, is really fucking these people over because, like, it completely made this girl retarded, or she's reading some sort of alternative history, and I don't know. Like, she's the blackest white supremacist person I've ever seen.
They do exist, though. Like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
They really do exist. It is weird. It is weird, but they do exist. I've actually known a few of them personally when I went to school in California that hated their own because of like the stereotypes that some of these people put themselves into, and they are really like the most oddball, like hodgepodge group of people I've ever had the weirdest time of meeting, because it wasn't really like they never were really a dick to me or anything. I just always found it weird to see like there were black people out there that hated themselves so much that they would align themselves with like KKK and white supremacists. So I always thought that was a little weird.
Yeah, it
really. Yeah, I've never came across. I've heard the people exist. I've never seen it or ever been around it until I came across that post, and I was just kind of like dumbfounded. I had to.
You're like you're trolling, right? Like there's no way this is real.
Yeah, and I'm still kind of dumbfounded even talking about it now because like I still cannot believe that these people exist. I mean, there was the number of black people responding to her going, "You are dumb as fuck." Like, do you even understand that you would be one of the first ones dead? And like, it was like, at least there's some intelligent people out there. I mean, it wasn't like a bunch of people going, "You know, right? You're right." like this is woke as hell. Like this is woke. This is. It wasn't a bunch of people agreeing with it, which I'm definitely thankful for that.
Bro, fucking it's really, really crazy to even think that this is a time in life that we live in, that this stuff is becoming normal.
Yeah.
Best timeline ever.
It's. I mean, no. I'm sorry. I mean, I was agreeing with you until I saw that post, and I don't know if this is the best timeline ever. Because when black people start agreeing with Hitler, then we got a problem.
Bro, like I think everybody forgot what that whole Aryan white Aryan race thing was, you know, that white Aryan thing that he was trying to do.
Yeah, kind of forgot all about that.
You know, let's not talk about the doctors that he had that were sadistic, and they experimented on different ethnic types that make them have blue hair. Blonde hair, blue eyes. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude.
It was very eye opening, that because I guess it really made me believe that, like what you said, those people exist, and it really makes you wonder how does that how do you get to the point to where that it's even a logical thought in your body, like as a black person. I obviously I'm not a black person, so I can't tell, but especially as a black person, I have a hard time even joking around or whatever, really getting to the point of actually trying to believe that Hitler was anything worse than evil, anything less than evil that he was.
Yeah.
But as a black person, like it's almost like going, slavery was a great thing, man. Like, you know, I mean, I just don't understand what book are they reading? What literature are they getting to get them this sort of, I guess, sense of morality that Hitler had? I don't know. I've never read a book
that made. Man. Hitler was a good boy. He didn't do nothing.
Is there a book out there that like titled that or something?
I swear to God, I bet you there is.
Because I really want to know where these people are getting their information.
Wrong. Volume 1 of the Black Supremacist Group.
I just want to know where this book exists, so I can read it and go, how, like, I want to see how they painted Hitler, because like somehow they painted Hitler to be some sort of just misunderstood guy, you know, and
at the wrong place at the wrong time.
That was actually in her post. That it was like kind of like at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like if he would have existed today, he would have been it would have been better for Hitler in the world. And I'm like, oh my God, I just. And what's funny is that, you know, Israelites and Jews are pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Well, she was talking about in that post how the Jews have taken the land away from the Israelites, and I'm like going, do you even know where fucking Jerusalem's at? Like, it's in fucking Israel, you fucking idiot. Like, they're both the same people. I want to read. I really want to read the book. I just want to read the book.
I want you to take this cyanide pill real quick, please.
They need to. They definitely need to, because that's the reason why. I mean, if this person was from Hawaii, she's saying, I mean, that wouldn't be that bad. I mean, we can stand to lose a few people like this.
LA and Frisco, bro. I'm telling you.
It's a scary place whenever, you know, here we are testing for nuclear missiles hitting us, kind of like we were during the Cold War when everybody was scared of that, and then here we are, people of color actually.
An updated version of Duck and Cover.
I imagine so. It's just, I don't know. We live in a really weird world, and no, Ogre, Jerusalem's not in Palestine.
Oh man.
I thought Jerusalem was like around Palestine, wasn't it? Like not in Palestine, but like
Palestine didn't even exist until like the 60s.
Palestine's trying to claim Jerusalem.
Yes, but yeah, there was no such thing as Palestinians until the 50s or the 60s. Whenever, I can't remember what war created a whole bunch of refugees, but there was one, and they were them.
Right. Because I know, was it Israel is the bordering cities that's like outside of Palestine, right? That's like one of the biggest reasons why they hate each other.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're fighting over basically that stretch of land in between what they consider in between the two places. But I don't know, over like how do you, but let's look up, what is the capital of fucking Israel? Jerusalem. I mean, it's like saying Washington D.C. belongs to Russia. I can't get into the whole Palestinian thing because I know I'll piss a shit ton of people off because I'm definitely a pro-Israel person.
I looked into some of that stuff, and I mean, I'll just say this: like, Israel's kind of fucked for what they're doing, but I understand why they're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have a bunch of fucking Israel Border Patrol fucking doped up, fucking staying up long hours. I mean, it's pretty insane. Like, have you seen the videos where they allow tourists into Palestine or whatever? Like, that shit's pretty intense, dude.
There's a lot of shit going on between Israel and Palestinian or Palestine or whatever the hell you call it. And a lot of it is kind of more of a holy war over just land that I don't know how Palestine, because Israel was there long before the Palestine was, and I'm not really sure how Palestinian comes into play later on in life and goes, oh wait, that's my land. I just don't know how that works.
Yeah, because it's not like we don't have records. I mean, seriously, dating all the way back to Egypt of Jerusalem and Israel, and it's not like we know exactly how it historically went, but we know that Jerusalem was a city and Israel was a country, and that was where the Jewish people were for a long, long time, and it was well before Palestinians ever even existed. Yeah, it's
a lot. It's a very complicated.
So he's saying he's saying Palestine was a country before Israel.
I guess.
Yeah, this is just not true. I mean, those people. Yeah, it's long and complicated, and there's no real reason to go into it.
It's real. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that we could spend a whole podcast or two trying to talk about the history of Israel and history of the.
Yeah, it's not like the Palestinians don't kind of sort of have a claim, but there's been so much like border change in that region. Nobody really knows who owned what when. So, and the oldest history we have, it pretty much, I mean, some like when the Ottoman Empire fell, there was a whole bunch of scramble for some of that land and some shit like that. But I mean, it's been fairly stable for the last several thousand years.
Yeah, like I said, only thing I've ever done is look up the tourist shit, and I was looking up some of the economics and the way it's set up, and it looks like Israel's trying to kind of snuff them out slowly.
Yeah, Cyrus, Solomon's temple was supposed to be in Jerusalem.
They're not really trying to snuff them out. They're trying to basically just snuff out their claim. It's really one of the things that's kind of hard to explain because there's a lot that goes into a lot of history and a lot of bloodshed behind it. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's something if you're interested in it, like look up on it because I mean it's really damn interesting to see what has transpired over in that area and the reason why they're still in that sort of war that they're in for. Fuck, I don't know how many years it's been now, but it's one of those things that's either like whenever you finish researching it, you're either going to be pro-Israel or pro-Palestinian. Like there's no way to fall in the middle of there.
No. And from what I've seen and I've like because like you know how you can watch some of these YouTubers go over there and talk about what's going on. And there was a YouTuber that I was watching. He ended up in Palestine, and they were explaining their side of things. And dude, like, I mean, they're like, I guess Israel's cutting out like resources and shit to the people inside. So like a lot of innocent people are caught in the crossfire that actually have legit families over there.
Yep.
So like a lot of bullshit's going on right now between the two of them. Like, so I don't see it really ending well for anybody, to tell you the truth. I mean,
it's not going to ever, it's never going to end well. And Israel's, I mean, to be fair, I mean, Israel has tried doing it the diplomatic way several times. And it's came to this because it's came to them basically playing dirty.
Well, that's why I said I understand. Like, there were other things that came up.
It's unfortunate, very unfortunate for the people that are the innocent people there that are just trying to live their life.
Yeah, those are the people that really have to pay for it all.
Yeah, yep. It's one of the things that is so. It's kind of a sad situation, but I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I can understand people not being on either side, one of the side or the other, but it's usually the people that haven't really looked into it. But if you look into it, you'll either kind of walk away there saying it's the Palestinians are right, or
I could easily
the Israelis
are right, but I can also see why Israelis right when it comes to the way they were trying to handle the things. So it's like I could easily be like, oh yeah, Palestine away, but I mean, I'm not going to. I don't live there, so it's.
yeah. I
mean,
it
is fucked though. It is fun.
It's definitely something I don't like to get into because it's one thing for me to have an opinion on, like say how the whole systematic oppression for black people or whatever, because like they're like, well, you're not black, you can't really say so. Well, I live in America. I can see how life works here, and I understand that, but. To try to have a really definite opinion on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is something that doesn't affect. I mean, I'm completely removed from the situation, and the only thing we're going to get is basically the information that either side wants to give us. And so you're definitely going to
be like, "Go Palestine," even though I don't live there. Like,
you're definitely going to walk away with some sort of a biased slant towards it. From whichever way. So that's the reason why I kind of just usually leave that alone, because it's definitely a heated topic. It's definitely one that
it's like when you hear a fucking British person that doesn't live over here tell us what Trump's about. You know what I mean?
Pretty much, yeah.
Or you hear what your politics are by another country and what they think it is versus what it is. I hate that shit, dude. Like, that's why I try not to do it to anybody else. Like, I'll bitch about some of their dictators, but like, I won't sit there and like interject. Oh, hey, if I did this, like, no.
Oh yeah.
Not my country, it's not my place,
Yeah,
I
don't tell that. I don't.
That Kim Jong Un's a piece of shit, but we don't know what it's really like over there unless we're living over there. And
yeah, I'm not gonna.
According to satellite shit, I don't want to be over there. So
yeah, I'm not gonna jump into a Brexit conversation and tell people why they should or shouldn't Brexit. Because like you said, I don't live over there, so I don't really have a stake in that.
Well, we talked about it.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
In season 1 when it was going on, and we were all sort of like on board with it happening, but we didn't go in there and tell people, oh well, if you're in Britain and you don't know what this is, you're stupid. Like, no.
Yeah. I'm not about to jump into that conversation because I don't have a stake in that claim.
Nope, same here. Yep. Because I hate with Canadians and Australians.
Oh God, me too.
And I'm not trying to point out anybody or throw shade to anybody away, because I know on Twitter that's going to happen. They're going to be like, "Oh my God, you're talking about us." I'm not talking about you. All I'm saying is I hate when Australians, Canadians, British, when they like to sit there and they say some stupid shit about our economic growth, or they say some stupid shit about the procedures that are being pushed in Congress. And 9 times out of 10, the information they tell you is like half-cocked. So it's like how am I going to listen to you when I live here? Like,
yeah,
I look shit up all the time. What are you telling me? Tell me something I don't know. Like,
they get their information. The only way that like Britain or any of these other countries get their information is through CNN or they're like BBC. Basically, BBC is like the CNN over there, but it's fed from one news station to the other, and they don't. They're coming obviously with a biased opinion because none of the news people give unbiased information anymore.
Absolutely, and so that's how it works, right?
Yeah, so I mean, like they're already predetermined with a biased opinion, and so it's like telling me why gun laws don't work and like or gun laws need to be happening, and I'm like, dude, you live over there, like stay the fuck over there. If that works for you, cool. But it doesn't
Stay
work.
in your rainy little socialist country.
Yeah, somebody said today because like we were on Nancy's podcast and a friend of mine was like, well, we can get 120 megs down, like 60 up for $70 a month, and it's real cheap, right? Real cheap here, and we have like companies everywhere to choose from, and he's from Canada, and everybody's like, oh, I want to move to Canada. I was like, yeah,
I'm good.
I was like, I'll take my.
I'll deal with Comcast.
Yeah, I'll take my net neutrality problem over going to like a country where my First Amendment rights are taken away, and I can end up in jail for different things that I say.
But it looks like in increasingly more likelihood that Jordan Peterson was right when he said that even something like fashion critique or his class would be a jailable offense under the new C-16 bill. Yeah.
And,
no thanks.
And I explained that I explained that briefly in that podcast, and the guy from Canada, that my friend, he was like, oh, he goes, yeah, definitely. He's like, I fully understand. He said there's trade-offs in both areas, and he said sometimes if you're going to be thinking of something along those lines, you definitely got to look at the whole picture on what you're trading off to get what you want. And
apparently Europe has really good internet. Does anybody want to move there?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm
All
right.
I already because I told him, I was like, if I came to Canada, I said one day on Twitter, and I have life in prison. I was like, I'm good, man. I was like,
but you're not wrong though. You're telling the truth. Man.
Yeah, I'm not wrong. Yeah, I'm good with having to pay extra to go see Netflix. I was like, I'll deal with that. I was like, I'd much rather do that than spend the rest of my life in prison because I said something mean on the internet.
Right.
I was like, and somebody's like,
wrong, dude.
And somebody said, well, but their healthcare is so great, and he actually corrected. I think Nancy said that, and he corrected Nancy. He's like, he's like, y'all are getting told a little bit different situation than what it's really like here. And I was like, yeah, I was like, I'll let you handle that since you're from there. I was like, because a lot of these people get fed this information from the news about how great social health care is. And I said, sure. I mean, if you're looking at having a baby, great.
Or if you
perfect.
just need, like regular prescriptions and shit like
Perfect.
that.
Yeah, but
awesome.
But he was telling
when you need cutting edge or life saving, like they all come to the U.S. for treatment.
Well, he was telling a story where, remember, they have that free health insurance over there. So he was telling a story that his wife was pregnant, everything was covered, it was great, but she developed gestational diabetes, and all of a sudden, the health plan didn't cover gestational diabetes of any kind. So he had to end up paying $260 a week for the strips because his wife had to, of course, get stuck and pricked and stuff. But like, there's a lot of things like that people don't, when the news doesn't tell you, they don't tell you all that the nasty shit that happens over there with their healthcare, and the reason why we're taking care of so many Canadians and Britons and our Europeans or whatever over here in our healthcare system.
But it's so good, man. Don't you know? It's good.
Yeah. They just hear free and they're just like, hey, man, sign me up, man.
Let's not talk about the 70% in taxes you pay for everything. Let's not talk about any of the other taxes that you have to pay that are above normal.
Isn't gas it's like 12 or $15 a liter over there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I know
something ridiculous. I know UK and Europe it's a lot more ridiculous, but Canada is even more ridiculous than the States.
My friend lives in the UK, and he was telling me, I forgot how much he said, how many pounds per liter it was over there, but I think it averaged around $9 a gallon here.
Whew. Fuck.
And I was like, yeah, man, I can deal with
even in California during the worst gas crisis the last few years, it was only like $5 a gallon.
I was like, I'll pay $5 extra a month to go visit Netflix. I mean, I'm cool.
Bro, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I will sit back and let this shit go. I could just walk everywhere for that cost. Fuck that. You guys want Lyft? We could do Lyft. Lyft is cheap. Let's do it.
It's insane the way the media has drilled, and even not even just the media, but the school system has made it to sound like that the government-run healthcare and the government-run shit like that is actually this great, this great thing. And in theory it is, but in practice it's not.
No,
and
they run it. Dude, they weren't. Okay, so this is what I've noticed. And I mean, anybody who lives in the EU, let me know if I'm wrong, please. Like I said, I don't like speaking or pretending like I know about other shit outside of my own country. Like I'm just saying, like I said, I look into this stuff. That doesn't mean I'm right. So I hear that they run their insurances like U.S. runs most warranty companies. You pay into this warranty of an AKA health bill, and say that's your taxes. Your taxes are going towards your warranty, and something outside, like say something drastic happens to you, they could decide whether or not they want to honor it. And that's what a warranty does over here. The companies usually decide, oh, hey, you broke it. We don't really need to cover this, but we will for you. I hear their health plans over there kind of operate around the same basis. Like I hear it's case by case, and some people have told me it's not like that. Some people told me it's actually worse than that. So like I said, I'm not sure.
I think they have. Sure. I think they have like what you're considering that. I think that was what it's called is like a death panel. And basically, what it is that you, like, say if my kid was needing a heart transplant, and my grandmother was needing a heart transplant, well then the insurance company over there would be like, yeah, well you're 80, so you've kind of lived your life. Sorry. But then the kid would be covered because the kid still has life to live. So they would get to choose, who gets to have the surgery
not
or not.
Always, as we learned with Charlie Gard.
Bro, if you pay that kind of money in taxes towards like these fucking companies, like, dude, like just like a warranty, when you pay into it, you deserve your fucking replacement that you've agreed to.
You should, but if you gotta look at it, like the reason why that they're in this situation is because, first of all, you have only so many hospitals and so many doctors in that region. But you're talking about like the percentage of probably people in say like a city, say a city of 100,000, you might have like maybe, I don't know, 40% that actually has health insurance. The rest of them really just don't give a shit, or just aren't, just haven't really thought about taking it out. So you can really focus in on that 30 to 40% because the resources are there. But then when the government comes in, even though you're paying that higher taxes, they don't really add all these different hospitals and start building up hospitals like they're doing highways. They just keep the same ones, and then now you're covering, instead of like 300 or 30 to 40,000 people, you're covering 100,000 people. And every one of them, especially like, it's almost like if you've never had money and all of a sudden you get a huge check, where are you going to go? You're going to go shopping. Well, all of a sudden now you got health insurance. Now you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go to the doctor for this. I'm going to go to the doctor for that. They're getting overran with like a bunch of people coming to the doctor. So they got to start prioritizing people's lives. And that's the sad part, is like, it's in theory, it would work to the way where you would pay extra, you have the extra taxes, and they would take that money and build up another hospital, build up 3 or 4 different hospitals in the regions, and hire more doctors and put more people through school to make it to where they could accommodate the extra people on health insurance. But since they don't do that, then they have to pick and choose who they serve and who they don't. And that's one of the big things that Obamacare was supposed to have. They were supposed to have a death panel. And
everybody kept saying no, they wouldn't, but yes, they would.
Remember, like, you have to remember, according to him, death panels didn't exist. Remember?
Well, plus, because they called it something else.
If you like your plan, you could keep it.
They called it something else in order to keep it from being called a death panel. But in
practice, it was the
same.
Yeah,
in practice, it was definitely a death panel. Yeah, it was definitely a death panel, and I mean that's the reason why I like that. Another bad thing about having that free health insurance is that fucking kid over there in the UK, his life could have been fucking saved. They actually had everything ready to go, but the government over there said no.
Yep.
And fucking
they would not release the baby to the care of the parents at the hospital.
Yeah, they came and took over the baby's care. The government did.
Yep.
And the parents weren't doing anything wrong. The parents were doing everything they could to make sure that baby lived. and the government stepped in and said, "We'll take it from here," and they gave the approval after he died.
Oh, just in the nick of time.
Yeah, it's one of the things like the. I really wish the news and shit like that was more like it was back whenever I was younger, back when they really cared about integrity. Because I mean, then we could actually get the facts of the situation.
Bro, they didn't care about the integrity when you were younger. They had the Honest Reporting Act when you were younger.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still,
they were forced to be integral.
Well, still,
what they talked about. You know what I mean? And no, I agree with it though. No, I agree with that. Yeah,
yeah, they definitely need that back in there because we're doing too many op-eds as considered reporting, and I don't have no problems with op-eds. I definitely understand opinion pieces, but your op-ed shouldn't be the main story you're running with. And that's what we're seeing more and more, and they're teaching people that are watching the news. I mean, because that's where a lot of people get their information from overseas, is from the news. And you're looking at the news and you're seeing how great it is over there in Sweden and the UK and how in Canada with their health insurance. And
yeah, let's not talk about like the massive invasion of immigrants
that
are like raping women and shit.
Yep.
Like a lot of people were thinking that was parody. Like some people were like, that's not really happening. Like,
it is.
On YouTube, man, there's like private action cameras on people's heads where these people are literally harassing the fucking natives there, dude. That's not right.
Yeah,
it's the same thing as no-go zones in Sweden and shit.
Yeah,
like people were denying those are real for the longest time.
Yeah, and now they've I guess came out and said that they're real, but they're not really considered no-go zones. They're just like considering cultural zones or whatever, to where
they're just too dangerous to put a police station in.
That's what I mean. That's the facts of the situation, but they're trying to paint it as to they don't want to encroach on the Muslim population by putting a police station in there. They're trying to spin it to where it's a positive, like they're doing something.
No, but we can make Muslims encroach on just
that
have done nothing wrong.
Fucking insane. Like it's just insane, and that's the reason why I really wish honest reporting was a thing, because I mean, I granted, I mean, some of the things I'm saying, like, they could end up being wrong, but I really wish that we could get back to the day where when you watch the news, you at least left knowing that you were like, you didn't have a biased opinion from what's going on in the world or wherever. You actually had what's actually going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we are. I mean, we're to the point of getting information slanted in a way to where people I mean, I don't know how, like, people think that free healthcare is a good thing.
Well, here's the thing: free healthcare
How does Obama
is a good thing if it was free.
And like I said, like that's the reason why I say in theory it's a good thing, but in practice it's never. It's like communism. Communism is a good thing in theory.
If they took, so check this out, bro. Like, if they took all the inflation out of medical costs right now, and they were to put that towards medical facilities, that would fix probably about 90% of our medical issues in this fucking country.
Yeah.
You have big pharma that likes to inflate its fucking pills to be over 300 times the actual market value. Same with medical billing when it comes to say you got a fucking kidney transplant, or you have, let's say you go in for a fucking flu and you get checked by the doctor. 9 times out of 10, that visit's going to cost you $900 between the kidney or the flu shot, which could have been about another $300 wait just for waiting in the goddamn office, dude. Like, there's so much inflation right now in the medical billing industry that I think it's ridiculous that nobody's investigating it and nobody's making sure that these people are being held to tasks. So the insurances are saying, well, if you guys go ahead and inflate your numbers by this, we'll go ahead and pay you a dividend based on what you guys' losses are. Plus, you get to keep the overhead. That is some bullshit, dude.
Because some problem, like if you've ever looked at your like ER bill, when you like the detailed line item report will show, like, if they had to use like rubber gloves, you're not paying for the pair that they used on you. You're paying for that whole fucking box.
Yeah, and then
like,
some.
Yeah, and then, like, so I mean, like, it, because it'll say like I back a long time ago, my EOB said like a box of gloves, and I'm like, You barely even had a fucking glove on, let alone a whole fucking box of them. So now I'm under the impression that whenever I go to the ER, I can just take whatever the fuck I want that's in that room because it's mine. I'm paying for it in the long run.
Yeah. You're like, I'll take the fucking scanner. Let's see.
Yeah, it's like when my kids start playing.
Those are mine.
When my kids start playing with those gloves, I'm like, take them. I was like, I'm paying for them anyway. You might as well fucking play with them.
Yeah.
Because it's just insane that we allow these people, because if we allow the doctors here. That's a big problem with us and them, is that their doctors there don't make millions of dollars a year. Our doctors do. Our doctors end up fucking billionaires sometimes, depending on what field you're in. And I fully understand paying them worth what they are. You know, like I fully understand that if you are a top-notch, neurosurgeon, you should be paid more than just the person that is a neurologist that's kind of like, reading your x-rays and then telling you that, you need to go see a surgeon. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't think that top-notch neurosurgeon needs to be making $30 million a year. Right. And the reason why they're capable of doing that is because they're capable of billing the insurance companies and you exorbitant amount of prices. And like you said, the whole
$150 for, 2 tablets of asprin or some shit like that.
It's fucking
$300 for a bag of saline, or $1,500 for a bag of saline, or some stupid high number like that.
I always ask them every time I go in. It's like, can I bring my own salt water?
I know, right?
Because shit. I can get a dill of salt and a dill of water, and I can.
Dude, I watched a video. It was actually a really useful video by this guy, by Adam Ruins Everything, and he did a video on what they call the master table in most medical facilities, and it's literally what things cost versus what we pay. And I guess every hospital, according to him, has these things. So I'm like, yo, ain't that some fuck shit to think about, that there's a master table out there? I remember when I was working at the Blue Box, we had a master table for our lumber costs, right? So we'd have our lumber costs, and then we would have our own discretion as to what we wanted to charge for the MSRP. So, it's just insane to think that, we have all these medical issues, not because of the citizens, but because of the establishments that we support. It's so ridiculous. So everybody's like, we should have free insurance. Okay, well, let's first work on what we consider is worth your money before we start doing that shit. Because I'm tired of paying an exorbitant amount of money when I don't need to.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're like me and you're on Medicare, or any sort of government-run healthcare, whether it be Medicaid, your local DHS or whatever the hell it is, or Medicare, the federal government, you'll go to the doctor. And the deal with the doctor is maybe they charge $1,000 for the procedure, but Medicare has only agreed to pay that procedure is only worth $400. Mm-hmm. So what the doctor will do is just bill the $400, wipe out the other $600, but they're going to do other procedures and bill your insurance companies to make up for that $600.
Oh yeah,
they're going to do what
they'll poke and prod till they get their money.
Yeah, and it's not because that you need it. It's not because it's so that way they can make money. They're in it not to save your life, because if they were, there wouldn't be a reason why you have $1,000 aspirin. They're in it for the money, and I get what they do. I get the fact that they save lives and cool like that. Like I said, I fully appreciate that they should be paid more than just any normal regular worker. But at the same time, is they should not be able to have this billing system to where it just basically fucks the American people. There's no way in hell you're ever going to get free insurance with them being able to do that.
How many times have you heard news reporters say, "Can you really put a price on life?" And it's like, and they're usually speaking in favor of these medical companies. And it's funny when they say that shit. It's like, can you really place a price on life? And I'm like, well, obviously you can, so why can't I?
I personally can't, but let me check with my HMO. Hold on.
Yeah. It's like, because I can tell you what my HMO will put my value at. Because, me, if I want to go to the psychiatrist, which I need to, because everybody knows that I'm bipolar, but I can't go to my psychiatrist because just to go there under my Medicare, I have to pay $140 for the visit, and then my medicine after cost is going to be around $3,000 a month. and that's just for 2 medicines. So tell me how does that even make sense whenever I can go to another specialist and they just write off the balance, like basically that extra $140 that I'm paying them to go see the psychiatrist is just written off at my other specialist.
Well, that, and like if these things really matter to a point as far as to where the prices are, and before someone tells me, well, they need to make their money, then why is it that they're willing to settle with you on the amount of money you pay into that, say, $30,000-$40,000 bill?
Exactly.
I have seen so many cases, and one of my friends that lived with me recently, she went through this with a fucked up back. Like, she said that you could talk them down to ridiculous amounts. You could be like, oh, well, how's this? I got $400. That's it. That's all I have. We can either square the bill away or you'll never get your money. And they're like, okay.
We'll take it.
We'll take it, yeah. So, like, if it really costs that much, then how come most billing agencies that work with hospitals allow that to happen? That's why I think this whole thing is a fucking scam, dude.
Well, I mean, shit, like today, I had to pay $75 getting my blood drawn, and that was with insurance.
That's ridiculous, bro.
The day before, same thing. So in 3 days, I've spent $150 on medical procedures.
Oh, yeah.
So much for that fucking insurance, right?
Yeah.
Well, see, like, it's crazy because, like, on Monday, well, just this past week, I had the ones put into my head. But on Monday, I'll have my, the nerves in my knees done. And I have to go to, it's basically an outpatient operation. And I'll go there, walk away scot-free, not even have to pay a dime. But if I go to another specialist that doesn't even have to do any sort of surgery procedure, we're talking about just sitting in his office, I'm paying around $500 out of pocket.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense. Like, I don't, because if you look at your HMO, you'll look at, or any insurance plan, you'll see, like, here's your specialist cost and here's your regular doctor cost. But for some reason, under Shane, you're on Medicare too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, under Medicare, your specialists are all divided up amongst themselves. Like, it's not just like, here's your specialist price. Here's this specialist price. Here's this specialist price. Here's this one, and here's this one, and it's just a long.
Neurologist could be different than a psychiatrist.
Yeah, and it's a long list, and you have to sit there and, because I mean, hell, if you're on Medicare, you're not balling. So, I mean, so the thing is, like, you have to start picking and choosing how much your life is worth.
Well, no, for people like me and you, Rambo, you have no choice. If you're disabled, after so much time, you just go on to Medicare.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a package deal. You can't get one without the other.
No, you're kind of forced. I mean, I can go out and buy private insurance, but
yeah, you can buy it.
I couldn't afford it.
Yeah,
I couldn't afford it. They told me that because my dad's retired and he's on Medicare, but he has, like, to where everything's basically covered, where he doesn't really have to worry about anything. But he pays that. I think it's Part D or something. But since I'm so young, or younger, I guess younger than retirement age, my Part D, to get that extra additional coverage, is, I think, like, they said around $800 a month. And I'm like, yeah, but that's like my check. So it's like,
yeah, but they're like, we don't care.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, that's what they said. They basically said that, like, do you want the coverage? I'm like, well, no, not really. I was like, I guess I'll just die. You know,
got that money?
I guess if I'm still alive in 25 years, I'll come talk to you. You know, if that $800 a month wasn't worth it. But basically, it's fucking insane the way the insurance companies here in America work. And I think that before we start worrying about free healthcare and, like, Obamacare and all this stupid shit, we got to fix the billing system and the pharma system. Well, because
people talk a lot about Obamacare and say what you want about it, but my copays were tiny in comparison to what they are now when Obama was in office.
You do realize that we still have Obamacare, right?
That's the thing. We're dealing with the aftermath of it, and that's why.
Yeah, you're still paying Obamacare prices.
Okay, well, something fucking changed, because I'll give you an example. I made
Yeah, it didn't collapse all at once. That's what happened.
exactly like it's to the point now where my oh wait, the stream's pinwheeling for me. Are we still live? Oh, red, yellow. Shit, come on.
Black and white, they are precious in this sight.
All right, we're green now.
Okay.
Anyways, like, I made a third of what I no, less than that, a quarter of what I normally make in November, because without my approval or I had no say so, they just take out insurance premiums that apparently I've not paid, but didn't know I had to pay for like a year.
Yep.
So it's
You gotta
like,
love that.
you know, here's like, you know, here's some change, like $200, which is nothing in the grand scheme of it all. You know, you're stuck paying this. Sorry, we didn't tell you about it earlier. Like, okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're really good about like not informing you, and then all of a sudden the way you're informed is by your check just being lower.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, like, Obamacare didn't scale well over the years. Like, it started off good, and my whole bitch about it was the scaling. Like, I never hated on it to the degree that a lot of people did. So, like, I wasn't like, fucking Obamacare. Like, it was really because I just didn't like the way it scaled. Because the long term, it was ripping a lot of people off. And
It was gonna kill you.
That's why I had issues with it. It wasn't like, because I've heard a lot of people say, well, Obamacare was pretty good. Yeah, the first couple of years. After that, it fucked a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's continually,
I was fucked the first year.
and it's still continually fucking people to this day, even worse. I mean, it's just going to continue to get worse until we figure out a system to replace it. But again, I'd rather, instead of Trump looking, we'll try to way to fix or replace Obamacare, fix our the insurance system or the medical system, to where they're not allowed to charge you $150 for a fucking tablet of aspirin, and then
right?
$700.
Drain the swamps, drain the fucking medical industry first. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's where Big Pharma and the medical field are the two big contributors to the lobbyists, or the two big lobbyists that are in there. And until we fix those people, I mean, no insurance system that we put in place is going to be anywhere like what I would consider decent.
And Rambo's not joking. Next time any of you are in the ER room, God forbid you have to go there, but next time you are and you get the bill, let's say they gave you an aspirin or a Tylenol or ibuprofen or something in the ER room. Look at how much they charged you for that one pill. Let's say they gave you like a Sprite or something to take it with. That is the most expensive fucking soda you'll ever pay for in your life.
Oh yeah, and you'll never walk to a bar and they go and order a Dr. Pepper and they say $5. You'll never go to that place and go, God, that's too much. You'll be like, Jesus, that's a steal, man.
Yeah.
The hotel I was just at, like the hospital, charged me like $300 for a fucking pop, and it wasn't even a 12-ounce one.
And that's no joke. It's one of them mini off-brand cans.
Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing how we're trying to fix like what they call the insurance system, but to me the insurance system, like they have I mean, definitely there is problems, but they have a set, like, okay, we'll only pay this amount for this procedure, but what they're willing to pay for that procedure actually is pretty much a kind of to me like a fair price for it.
Uh-huh.
Whereas you like they like if it's a $12,000 or $10,000 procedure, the insurance is like, well, you know, we'll agree to like it's probably worth about a $4,000 procedure. Well, I don't know why you have to charge the extra $8,000. I mean, I don't see anything that a doctor can do that's $12,000 worth of time.
Bro, like that's always bugged me. Like, how the fuck are you gonna be able to tell the doctors that's gonna work on me what they are worth when I can't even fucking do that? Like, dude, that is so fucking egotistical when you think about it, bro. Like, hey, yo, you know what? I look at this, it's about $1,000. What do you think? Like, I want to be able to haggle my dudes. You know what I mean? Like,
I would love that.
Oh hell yeah! That's about worth $4, but go ahead and make them pay $8. you keep the 4 overhead, we collect on your bill, you're good. That's exactly what happens. That's pretty much the industry in a nutshell, and it needs to fucking change. Because you're going from, say, like with retail, you have 2 types of transactions. You have wholesales, and then you have market sales. The market sales are usually determining the worth of the product that comes from wholesales, right? Those are the type of transactions that you deal with. In the hospital, on the other hand, there's market sales, there's fucking wholesales to the hospital that are being taken care of by the insurance companies, the fucking insurance companies that are actually lobbying for big fucking executives to take control over board memberships. I mean, dude, like, they have like transaction with transaction with transaction with another transaction on top of that. So it's like, dude, like when you follow the money when it comes to big pharma, you're like, dude, I don't even want to look at this atlas. Fuck this. I'm done.
Guy that, what's it, Martin Shkreli or whatever?
It says video output is low. Come on. You did hit stop on yours, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're live now.
Yeah, we're good.
Is it green? Or is it still red?
No, I was talking about my OBS was yellow and red.
No, I know.
I wasn't even looking.
I'm saying ours. Like I'm streaming it right now. I was just what I was asking is if it's red or green right now for me. YouTube died.
Dromain on that, I wouldn't put it past YouTube. Like, YouTube can do whatever the fuck they want to do, and then everybody's just gonna at the mercy of whatever the hell.
They could do no wrong.
Well, like they deleted Kid Smooth's channel. He got it back, but like I don't know how your algorithm. Well, obviously, if your algorithm is deleting people's channels that don't need to be deleted, then you've definitely created the wrong fucking algorithm.
Yeah.
And before that, like iDubbbz and Conan O'Brien, you know, the actual fucking late night thing. Both of their channels were fucking deleted over this whole YouTube Kids thing that's going on.
YouTube Kid thing. What are you talking about?
Oh, you did like people are creating Elsa, and they called it Elsa Gate, but a bunch of different
like softcore porn.
Yeah, basically a bunch of softcore porn. People being fought. I mean, people being killed and decapitated, and with their favorite characters. But creating it in a way to where the thumbnail and the title and all that. Sometimes the title is actually outright Elsa fucks Spider-Man or something like that. But I mean, it's into the YouTube Kids app, and I guess people started complaining about it. They let the advertisers know, and advertisers started boycotting YouTube again. Well, I guess YouTube went in and like I think they deleted 150,000 channels, and like because a lot of it was like in the comment section there was actually child predators and there, actual fucking people trying to get the actual pedophiles trying to get kids to talk to them. And so
what is wrong with people?
I don't know how YouTube's algorithm missed this, or if they just kind of turned a blind eye because they were just getting a bunch of money, because these videos are being viewed tens and 30 million views and shit like that. I mean, we're talking a number of a bunch of money being made off of these videos. And so in response to that, you know how they did with Adpocalypse when that happened, in response to that, they started deleting channels and stuff using this algorithm. But in the process, it deleted like iDubbbz, Conan O'Brien. It deleted, I guess, Kid Smooth's channel. And of course, you got to talk to them and get, I guess, work with them or whatever to get your channel back. But whoever is writing the algorithms over at YouTube, they need better people. Because math is pretty much like an exact science. And algorithms usually run pretty heavily in math. And so somebody needs to be able to figure out a way to write fucking algorithms for them that actually fucking work. They can actually recognize the offending content and get rid of it, or whatever. But not to the point to where, oops, sorry, our algorithm deleted your fucking channel, even though we're looking for kids, stuff, and you happen to be Conan O'Brien that's not doing any fucking kids stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no excuse for it, and they're just able to get away with it because there's no other competitor. That's the reason why it kind of sucked to see VidMe closing down. But I mean, I fully understand why. But we need a true competitor to YouTube in order to keep YouTube honest.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, if something as good as VidMe can't answer, then how?
Bro, come on. We had to go out and look for VidMe, for fuck's sakes, dude. Like, they weren't even advertising themselves really that well. Like, their own YouTube channel wasn't even very active. They had a few things where they were, like, saying, yeah, this is what we do over here. But that was it. They didn't really do a whole lot, man. Like, yeah, I mean, what you found them, right. Great.
There is Facebook. Facebook has been looking to come up with a monetary platform for videos as well. And they've been doing that for like a year.
Yeah, I've been vlogging on there for a while now. Yeah. I've got videos, like, I had videos that were up above like 4,000 hits. I had some videos that were making 800-900 views a day. Like, sometimes, like, I mean, I've thought about going to Facebook. As much as I hate that platform, like, for a video content creator, I bet you it'll do wonders. I bet you it's going to do wonders. Like, YouTube needs to be put in check. I'm so tired of the bullshit with YouTube at the moment. I love YouTube, but then I hate it at the same time. It's a love-hate relationship. Like, I was down with them trying to make money for themselves. I get it. Like, hey, you know what? You want to make money for yourself. You're a fucking business. You have every right to do that, right? But then they do the whole adpocalypse thing where they're ripping off their content creators, and it's like, really? Like, you guys couldn't come up with a better way of, distinguishing between what's offensive and what's not? Like, so we're just gonna put an algorithm that listens in on, like, keywords and will demonetize that way? Like, that's so fucking stupid, dude.
I hope one day that either something comes along that keeps YouTube honest, or there's actually a competitor where we actually have, like, as creators or whatever, that they actually have a true choice.
Yeah, it's like I said, man. I be doing Facebook videos too, so.
I heard that you can even make money on Facebook and Twitter videos, but I don't know how do you sign up for it? I don't know how you do that.
I don't think you can sign up for it. I think they actually have to hit you up for any sort of, like, advertisement or an affiliation deal, because
just for now though, like, they are working on a monetary platform like YouTube has.
So I guess I have to, like, just hit like, I forgot what, like, broadcast me or whatever it is to my page, and then, or to my Facebook, my actual Facebook profile, and then
you can do it to a page, like,
or do it to my Rambo's Corner page, and stream from there, and then I guess if I start getting enough traffic there, then maybe they might hit me up for, hey, you mind if we put some ads on your stuff? And okay. And how does Twitter work? Because, like, Twitter only allows, like, a fucking a minute and a half video or a 2-minute video. So how does
Twitter? Okay, so Twitter is good for highlighting videos of yourself and marketing yourself. That's what Twitter's good for. So, like, you could take, like, quick clips of the videos that you've already made, throw it up there real fast, and then market yourself that way. That's what a lot of people do. It's been.
I mean, how are people making money off of Twitter?
Retweets, like, man. Retweets and favorites. Like, that's all it takes. Retweets and favorites. You don't even need. You don't even need to have a huge following, dude. Just as long as you're doing retweets and favorites, they'll take care of the rest. Like, you'll have, like, certain brands that want to put their shit near your shit.
Okay, yeah. So it's kind of like the same thing with Facebook. You just got to get it to that certain point to where the advertisers are like, hey, I want to put stuff on his.
Yep.
It's more of an advertiser gets to pick and choose rather than just having a blanket. Here's our ads and run them wherever you want.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Brands brands have better control over where their shit goes with Facebook than they do on YouTube. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I mean, another question though is, how are some people on Twitter capable? Like, I'll see, like, a 5-minute video, or sometimes even a 7-minute video. But if I try to share a video, it has to be within like I think 2 minutes or less. So how are some people able to share a full 5 minute?
Maybe? Verified, maybe that's the only thing I think of. Verified, or maybe it's like is it an actual Twitter video, or is it linked from like say Instagram? Because I know people do a lot of Instagram stuff.
I don't remember if I saw the link in there or not. But I mean I just know like the video, because usually if it's like a YouTube video or something, the video will be there, but I'll have to actually hit play. But if it's like, to me, I've always thought if it, on a Twitter video, if it like automatically plays for me, then that's a Twitter video. So I'm thinking that that's what it was. It was just I scrolled down and it was playing, but it ended up being like 5 minutes long.
Huh.
And I was like, how does that even work? Because like I couldn't get anything over I think like 2 minutes to post to Twitter.
Yeah, and I can't even do past certain seconds. Like I think I could go up to like a few seconds and that's it. I don't know, man. That's weird. That is strange. Maybe it's just maybe it's for verified people only. Who knows? Well,
some of these, it's mainly some of these ads that I see. Like the ads, like say Bloomberg puts out a promoted tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes that video inside that promoted tweet is like 5 minutes long. So I don't know if maybe since they're advertisers they get extra time or what. But I've always wondered how like you're ever gonna make money like off of Twitter whenever you can only put 2 minutes worth of shit up there. I'm like, you better make sure that 2 minutes is very impactful.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of people that do though. There's a lot of good content creators that can make a 2 minute video feel like it's a 10-minute video because it has so much shit in it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely. There's people that are very, I guess, very marketing savvy.
So
what was that?
that sounded like Shane.
Yeah, I was like,
Shane doing what? Oh, just being autistic.
At least he admits it. At least
I can't help it.
He flaps his arms. He doesn't know how to ride a bike.
Okay, so
no, that's Metro. Don't drag me into that too.
Do y'all think resolution is an advantage?
Nope.
No.
Somebody tried to say that since the X is playing at say 4K and the base is playing at 1080p, that gives like say a sniper an advantage over the person playing on the S. So they don't understand why 60 FPS and 30 FPS can't happen.
So
I'm like, the resolution doesn't give you, unless you're playing it like sub 480p and the other person's playing at 4K. I mean, then maybe, but I don't see how
you're playing at like 4:3 instead of 16:9.
Yeah, right. But I don't see how resolution.
I'm gonna throw a curveball at some of those people right now. Resolution is more of a hindrance to a serious gamer than it is a gain for visual quality to a casual gamer.
Well, yeah, because I remember the guy. There were several Street Fighter people that whenever they were in their competition, they actually lowered their resolution.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
They didn't want the 4K or even the 1440p. They wanted like less than 720p.
And they usually have MXAA turned off. They have everything turned off. It's all
down. The game almost looks like garbage. I mean,
yes.
Well, that's why I said like resolution is more of a hindrance than it is something for visual fidelity that makes it look pretty. You know what I mean? If you're a serious gamer, dude, like.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot more things you could consider that would give you a bigger advantage, like being able to scale the draw distance.
Yeah, draw distance would
be way more of an advantage for a sniper in like Battlefield. Yeah, but I mean, like, that's what I'm saying though. He picked the worst example. I mean, sure,
if you and I,
maybe there might be some sort of advantage or disadvantage between resolution.
If you and I were #1 and #2 in the world, and I mean, we're talking like the only rated us was a point, and say PUBG. And you were playing at 4K and I was playing at 1440p, 1080p, whatever. We're not gonna. I mean, you're not walking away there the time because you were playing at 4K and I'm playing at 1440p or 1080p.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a difference.
It's not. I mean,
on a pro level, it is absolutely.
But now,
maybe, but even that would be a small difference compared to other things.
Absolutely not.
But
like
yeah, but
field of view, or any of those kind of things.
But again, you're talking about field of view, and you're talking about draw distance. We're talking about resolution. Resolution.
Sure, but that's what I'm saying. There are some things you could consider, but yeah, resolution is not really one of them.
Because I mean, if me and you are 1 and 2 in the world, and the only thing that separates us is a point, and you're playing at 60 frames per second, and I'm playing at 30, chances are you're going to win.
Absolutely. There's a good chance of that. Because here's the thing: the lower the resolution, the better you're going to have without dealing with screen tearing. If you have a 60 hertz monitor or a 75 hertz monitor, you're not going to have to worry about all of the shit jittering. Like sometimes if you have a lot of shit turned up and you have a decent system, even then you're going to deal with what they call micro stutters that happen sometimes. I mean, that's why pro league players, when it comes to any game franchise, they always lower their shit. Like 9 times out of 10, they go for high refresh monitors with low delay as far as like 1 milliseconds. And everything else is turned down. League of Legends players do this. Fucking Counter-Strike players do this. Call of Duty on PC when they were doing was it DreamHack or whatever? Like they were doing that shit. They were turning it all the way down. So I mean, if you like, I'll put it this way: 4K at 30 FPS in a pro match. Guess what? They're gonna laugh you out the door. They're gonna be like, no, we want that shit at 1080p, 60 frames a second. Period.
Yeah, I think he's confusing it because he says, yeah, but frames per second doesn't make you a gaming god, and resolution can definitely be an advantage when it comes to spotting distant targets. And I'm like, that's field of view. That's not resolution.
Resolution is a hindrance to almost all things gaming when it comes to performance. Almost everything that runs on console.
The only thing I can think of is if, like, you know, it's a game like Battlefield 4, and maybe if you were playing at 4K, it might be a little easier to make out that little few pixels in the distance was actually a dude and not just like a tree or something. Maybe, kind of, sort of, I guess.
Nah.
But even then, there's draw distance would have way more of a factor on something like that.
Yeah, draw distance, I could, yeah.
I don't see, like, going from 1080 to 4K, especially if it's on, like, if you're not talking about a giant-ass TV, I just don't see it being, like, you can't see details that small.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like, so.
I mean, unless you have your face right up against the monitor, you won't even be able to tell the difference between those two groups of pixels at 1080 or 4K. So it really, yeah,
I think people just are like confused on. I think they want to they want to try to. They're console gamers, so I mean they want to try to conflate one with the other, and they're not really understanding how they're separated, and it's because a lot of people, like Black Bond tries to put out that resolution and graphics are the exact same thing.
No, dude, he's a fucking retard too. So hey,
I mean, but this is the same guy this guy that replied this to me. This is the same guy that, mind you, whenever he got his PS4, he decided to replace that PS4 hard drive and couldn't get it to work because he couldn't figure out how. So this guy could not even replace the hard drive in a PS4, but he's trying to tell me how resolution can make you a better gamer.
Did he get the wrong one?
No, he didn't put the thing in correctly. He put it in
goes
back
in one way.
Yeah, well,
I know, right? I'm like, how else could you
that.
screw this up if you didn't buy like a too big a one and it wouldn't go into the slot? Like,
tell him that
it's a hard drive.
Yes, I agree. Resolution.
There's one side with little connectors on it, and that's it. Like, how do you fuck that up?
Tell him that. I mean, he was actually like made a post and everything about how Sony is like doesn't give a shit about gamers and they're like consumer because they make this piece of shit hardware that I'm like going, dude, you're the fucking dumbass. Like, it's not Sony. Like, this is not rocket science. I mean, this is actually like pretty self-explanatory on how a hard drive goes in. And I even offered to like get into the Twitter like DMs or get into Discord and I'll call you and I'll walk you through it. Like, no.
This is instructable video or something.
Like, he's like, this is definitely Sony's problem. So this is the guy that would not listen to somebody about how to replace a hard drive in a PS4, but now going to try to explain how resolution makes you a better gamer. So
Bro, like I said,
I have a hard time believing people like that.
Like, look at it this way. This is why I say this. Resolution is a hindrance in gaming in general. If you think about it, look at the consoles. I mean, 720p 60 FPS is the most realistic rendering that these things can do constantly. You know what I mean? Constantly. I'm talking about constant. I'm not talking about half-ass shit like what it is with 1080p. With what do they call that? They call that what the fuck is it? Where they
dynamic resolution.
Dynamic resolution. Thank you.
With checkerboard rendering and
exactly.
all those other little tricks.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. 720p, 60 frames on everything would have been more realistic. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been actually far better than what they were doing previously. But no, we're going to go ahead and be like, 4K, guys! 4K at 30. And don't worry, because multiplayer is obviously going to be awesome. Like, fuck that shit, you fucking clowns.
I mean, these people have been... They believe marketing hype, and that's the problem, is they believe that 4K makes some sort of, like, huge difference in your abilities in your gaming. Like, I can see targets more clearly and stuff like that, but if your field of view is the exact same as it is on 1080p, you're really not going to have any more of an advantage, because the field of view is more important. Because if I can see you, if I can adjust the field of view where I can see you 100 yards versus 50 yards at 1080p, well, it had nothing to do with the fact that I'm playing at 4K. It's the fact that I'm having my 100-yard distance for the field of view. So, I mean...
You're going to be looking at the enemy, like, faces and slightly more detail, and that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really like it's going to...
And just the thing, that slight more detail is actually bogging your system down.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. It's like the payout rate for how much of your resources being taken for that small amount of detail is almost not worth it. It really isn't.
There's a reason not even most PC players have gone to 4K yet.
Well, yeah, because I mean,
the technology just isn't quite there yet.
If they could make the games 1080p, 60 frames per second, and the field of view longer, whatever like that, that would be more beneficial than to making games at 4K, even 4K 60, because they're still making concessions elsewhere to get it to 60 at 4K. And so, I mean, I'd rather have 1080p 60 and my field of view be long or adjustable at least, rather than having 4K 30 or 4K 60 at all.
Yeah, and if you're going to increase for this shit, though, I mean, these devs and, well, not so much the devs, the marketing hype.
Oh, yeah.
They're responsible for it because they market, it's going to do 4K 60 FPS. And then all these drones believe it. And then when it doesn't, they bitch. And then the market, it's just one vicious fucking circle.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, it's easier to market resolution than it is frames per second. Because more people understand 1080p or HD versus 4K. Because that's when you go to the TV market or you go in the electronics, that's what you'll see those two things, but you'll never walk in there and see a 30 frames per second monitor and a 60 frames per second monitor. You'll never see so I mean, that's the reason why I think the marketing went with resolution. But damn, I like it. It's put like there was somebody that said, because I said that I don't take, I was in my Facebook review, the one you're in, Shane, the Xbox United.
Yeah.
That PUBG was like, even though it was said it was running at 60, I was like, it was never going to run at a solid 60. Like that was just, that's a guarantee because of how many Yeah. And he was like, what are you talking about? This guy was like, what are you talking about? He responded with a fucking quote from the PUBG guy that said he got the game running at 4K 60 on the X. And I'm like, okay, how many times has these developers said, our game is running at 60 frames per second, and then when Digital Foundry gets in there, it drops to the teens. I was like,
or native, and it's really checkerboard, or
I was like, just because I was like, I mean, he could have hit. I mean, that game could have hit 60 frames per second one time, and technically, he's right, by saying that. But I mean, if you know anything about like the way this stuff works, especially PUBG. 4K 60 on a console that's not even hitting 1080p 60 on a fucking beast-ass PC is pretty much unlikely if it's going to be solid. And I don't know, he believed exactly what the thing was said because I guess he got sucked into the fact that if it's said like that, then it has to be true. And then I'm just a hater, and I'm like, I don't know, y'all believe too much of this marketing shit.
Yeah,
I'm really in the wrong business.
Screenshots.
I'm really in the wrong business because these people will fucking buy and believe anything. Let's
kickstart a console that can do
we need
8K 60.
We need to, and
then like 5 years into the developing cycle, dude, we'll cut the hardwares like down to half, and say there's checkerboard, and we're coming up with a new way of rendering, and well, I mean, why not, right? It could work.
Yeah, we can basically. I mean, every game is going to be 8K 60, and what we'll do is we'll make the actual fucking loading screen 8K and 60, and then the rest of it's all going to be like 480p and like 30 frames per second and below, because we don't really give a shit what happens after that, because as long as we hit that 8K 60 one time, that's all. Because we've learned this generation that anything above 1080p is 4K, thanks to Microsoft.
That is awesome. Gotta love Microsoft. Thank you, Microsoft, for doing the things that you do.
Is it not really weird that, I mean, a game can hit 1440p and they still have a 4K label on it?
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Well,
look at most of their games. Most of their games don't even break 2K, right? And they're like, that's 4K. No, it's not. It's
Seriously,
2K.
Like, Microsoft is like, if that loading screen is 4K 60 FPS, that's what the game is. Yeah. We're not lying, because it hit that once.
It blows my mind that people are. I mean, people are saying that like this thing's a beast and it can hit 4K and native 4K. I'm like, but Titanfall is 1440p. Well, that's still I mean, but it's like marketed as 4K, and like they can't seem to understand that marketing isn't facts. Like, that marketing is to get you to buy, to get you to believe, and it seems like that's working. It's working really well. These people will buy the fact that 1081p is native 4K.
Well, it's like the internet providers, dude. Like, internet providers will tell you that you're paying for a 200 meg connection, right? With about 25 up, and then your actual speed test will say you're about 160 with like 10 up, but because you hit it like 2 or 3 times, that means you're actually getting your signal. Like, that is some stupid fucking shit, bro. Like, oh my god, that drives me nuts.
I also see people like do speed tests on their Xboxes and their PlayStations. Mm-hmm. And they somehow believe that because the Xbox comes back at 400, like if they have like a good connection, you're seeing it 400 down and like 60 up, that whenever they go to download a game, they're actually getting 400 down and 60 up. And I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
No. Like, the service you're downloading from is not offering you the full 400. Just because it scans in at 400 doesn't mean that their servers can actually handle your connection. And a lot of people think that just because you have a 400 meg connection, because I have one, me too. Like, you're not gonna get what you think you're getting from these services. Like, for instance, Valve, the highest my shit will go is 100 when it comes to downloading. That's the highest it goes for me.
Well, you have to also, I mean, what people don't seem to, everybody seems to fail to realize is it doesn't matter, once your download reaches a certain point, it doesn't matter what else is above that, because if wherever you're getting the game from, if their upload speed doesn't match it, then you're not getting anything extra. You can only download as fast as that thing can upload.
Yep.
So I mean, it's not like this. There's like this whole thing. Then the only thing there's a place where the file's at. It uploads it to a server, and then you download it from that server, and then that whole connection, like you cannot go any faster down than that thing can go up. So, I agree. Because there's sometimes whenever I'm downloading, I downloaded Forza 7, I was getting 43 megabytes per second, or megabits per second. I would download a different game on there, and it was like 170 megabits per second. I would download another one, it was 232 megabits per second. I download a 360 game, and it was like, I don't know, 8 megabits per second, and sometimes it would even go down to kilobits per second. But
we're talking, fluctuates a lot.
Yeah, it's because I was the upload from that server wherever I was getting it from was either having a lot of traffic and like cutting into it, or the upload speed just was really just shitty. And it's just it puzzles the hell out of me that they think that just because it says it, no, that's what's happening. I'm like, it's I think, man, we really should start like trying to figure out a way to sell shit, because I've learned from talking to these people that all you got to do is just put it on a piece of paper, and people believe it.
Yep.
Yeah, if it looks good on paper, it goes a long way.
Yeah, I mean, and Shadowkin, I would definitely take 720p 60 over 4K 30 any day.
Oh yeah.
And I gotta say this, and I want to say this. Is it funny to me that only the mobile market is actually selling what they fucking advertise? They sell what they advertise better than anybody else on the market. Fact. Like,
Fair enough.
That is true. I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah, like, have you ever seen an iPhone X or an iPhone 8 that, you know, they say you could do 1080p 60 FPS, and then you find out that there's some underhanded shit, like it's not really 1080p, but it's upscaled and super sampled. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see shit like that in any other market besides the console market, dude. It is so ridiculous.
Well, the console and even Steam. I mean, everybody acts like Steam is like some sort of
they've been
powerhouse when it comes to download speeds and shit like that. And
to be fair,
it's faster.
It's faster, yeah.
Yes, they don't throttle it as much.
And it's consistent.
Yeah,
they don't.
I don't think I've ever gone below 20 megs per second downloading a game.
But you have to recognize that they do throttle it some.
Yeah.
Sure.
My main bitch was Steam though. Like I know, like they're not flawless either. Like they've got their issues. Like for instance, they like to inflate cost of games, and then on their sales they'll go ahead and mark it down to like 50% from what they inflated. Like that's bullshit. Like that's why.
Yeah, so they raise the price in order to lower it to make you feel like you're getting a good deal.
Yep.
And it works.
Yep.
I mean, it's banned at
it's
physical
sleight
stores.
of hand when it comes to marketing.
Oh, it is, and I mean it's a proof of the fact that if somebody sees, I think they've done like case studies where if you see like a price that's like $4.99, and you see a price that says $5, your mind will think that $4.99 is such a better deal because of the way that the numbers are lined up and the way it looks, even though you're basically paying a penny difference. So it's the same way with that. If they jack the price up and then they lower it, even though you're looking at it, basically, say if they even
you might have seen it 1 month earlier at that exact same price, but because you see sale, you think you're getting a better deal than you normally would have.
Yeah, but if like right now I went to Steam and it was like Call of Duty World War II $50, I was like, man, that's too much money. And then during the Christmas sale, it's like Call of Duty World War II is on sale for $50. I'm like, go click buy. Shit. It's like for some reason that it just like it doesn't cross the person. The way it crosses the person's mind is that it tricks them into believing that they're getting a good deal, even though they're really not.
Yep.
What was funny is the Today Show was trying to talk about this, like how Black Friday deals, and the lady was like, "Well, you know, we're really talking about like 10 to 15% off." She said, "But now, whenever you really get into the 40, 50, and 60% off, that's really where you're getting the better deal." And I'm like going, do you really have to explain that? I mean, it's either 10 to 15% off or 40 to 60%. I'm guessing 40 to 60 is probably the better deal. I didn't really need to be told that by the news. Like
you're like, you know.
I was like,
wow, thank you.
Yes, like basic fucking math can tell me that. You know, I guess people are that dumb where they have to basically tell you that if you see a 60% off sign, it's probably a better deal than a 13% off sign. Really?
Good to know.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Now I can shop with confidence.
Thank you for enlightening me.
Oh, I was like, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like their cases still come out with 4K. Microsoft cases, even though the game's been proven that it doesn't hit 4K.
Yeah, it hits 4K at like a transition, right?
Yeah.
Look at that transition.
And the movies. Don't the movies play at 4K 30?
No.
Not consistently, no.
Oh wow.
No, wait, movies? Are you talking about movies?
No, I meant like the in-game cutscenes and shit. I thought those were 4K native.
No, they're not constantly. No.
It wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't. So.
No, usually the frames per second is a pretty solid one. Usually, because there is some that still have fluctuations during the cutscenes somehow.
Yeah. I know, right?
But the resolution, no. Like even the resolution in like whenever I think it was Mass Effect where like the resolution of the game was like 792p, and the cutscene was supposed to be at 1080p 30, which is the same with what it was on the Pro or the PS4. But on the Xbox One, it like hit 1080p, and then when it's during the thing, it like fluctuated from 1080p to 720p in the fucking cutscene somehow.
Wow.
That must have been
It was-
weird. Like, looked funny.
It was weird. It's like they used dynamic scaling in the damn cutscene, and I don't understand why, because that's a pre-rendered thing. It was you should be able to make that a solid thing no matter which way you go.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Fucking Microsoft.
It's this whole thing like is hilarious to me because you know, we kind of called it, you guys, like the very beginning of the whole Scorpio fiasco when it was like being even like talked about in the first like beginning episodes of this podcast back in season 1 on the other channel. Like we called this out forever ago that they were going to do this. That was going to be, hey, it's 4K with dynamic resolution.
Yep.
And everybody
At
was
the
like,
title
no,
screen.
that's not going to work. No, Microsoft's not like that. No.
Like, no, they said it was going to be 4K. Like, no, but that's just. I
Like,
remember you being called a hater and a pony and everything else because of saying that shit. But
yo,
here
like,
we are.
there's a huge difference when you're recording video if it's going to be upscaled from 720p at 60 or downscaled, right? So, like, that's the difference when you're recording video or when you're doing media. Like, I record all my media at, like, 1080p, 60 frames per second, right? And I do all my own color correction and whatnot. But guess what? You're watching that video, it's 100% consistent. It doesn't drop. It doesn't waver. Now, if I was to say dynamic resolution plugin or some shit like that from Vegas, or if they even have something like that, which I would laugh. But let's say they hypothetically they did. I mean, to me, that just seems like it would be more of a hindrance on the system, right? And if you can't get the system to pull what it needs to pull when you advertise it, maybe it could be time for you to change your shit about halfway through the race of building your shit, regardless if it's going to cost you money, just so you can remain consistent in your ideals. Like, that's just how I am, you know? I mean, that's just, I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny. Because no other, like I said, no other fucking platform does this but consoles. Everybody else is pretty much angels in comparison.
Yeah, I don't really understand how they get away with it, to tell you the truth.
We let them. We
Well,
let,
yeah, I
we,
guess so.
we let them, and we get tied up in care packages and all the other shit, you know, but we won't talk about, like, hardware manufacturers fucking ripping people off. But, hey, whatever. Loot boxes, guys. Those are more important to talk about than anything else.
Of course, you know, we got to definitely make sure we call out the loot boxes, because who the fuck wants something like that?
Now, is that objective or subjective, Rambo?
Oh my god!
Oh God.
I thought I was done ever hearing that shit again.
No, honestly, I
Never,
kind of
sir.
miss. I miss that conversation in comparison to the loot box shit. Like,
Yeah, I can fully appreciate that. That's something I can.
Remember when that was
Listen.
the silliest thing that we would discuss?
yeah, bro.
That was the silly shit that was going on Twitter.
Yep.
Those were the days.
The nonsense. I love it though. I really do. I love the nonsense. It's funny.
Sometimes.
I know sometimes it gets kind of annoying and you just don't want to deal with it. I'm like, fuck it. I don't even want to deal with people right now, so I'll just ignore half of them. I'm like, no, you guys want me to?
The internet makes it so easy, dude.
Well, that's why you just don't play along anymore. You know, I think that's what I'm gonna start doing. Is I'm gonna stop playing along with some of this bullshit. And the moment they want to be dicks or throw some stupid shade or whatever, I'm just gonna be like, all right, ignoring you. You say something? Oh, yeah. All right. Well, okay.
Shoo fly, don't bother me.
Pretty much. I mean, that's why I've, like, you know what's funny is I used to do that all the time, and for some reason I've stopped doing it. I started getting involved, and that's my fault. That's my own stupidity. I shouldn't have gotten involved, so I deserve whatever I got. So
Yeah, I've learned over the course that I've kind of I found myself refraining from getting involved with a bunch of discussions, because after the loot box and the whole objective versus subjective thing, I've just learned that maybe I don't have to be involved with every incorrect thing that goes on within the social media, because it's so mind-boggling.
Dude, you'll go insane. You'll go fucking insane, bro. What future game will I buy? I don't know, bro. Like, there's some stuff that's coming around the pipe that I don't know if I'm really excited about, really. There's not a whole lot besides, like, if the rumors about Horizon, the new Horizon game is true, then that'll be my next big game that I buy.
So wait, you're not gonna buy?
Oh, Monster Hunter. Yeah, Monster
Hunter.
Monster
Hunter.
I'm down with the Monster Hunter. I'm down.
New Metro. When is that coming out?
I think it's supposed to come out in
is it early 2018 or is it like mid 2018? I can't remember.
It's early.
Is it early? Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be right, like maybe February
and
or March.
And if I do get that game, I'm getting it for. I might be getting it for PC just because I want the higher frames. Because the older
Fucking
Monster Hunters, like here's the thing about Monster Hunter, like you cannot afford to fuck up because of glitching. Like, and that was a thing that happened a lot in the first generations of Monster Hunter. So when
they'll buy you an X, and that way you'll make sure that you get the good frames.
Well, you know what, man? If you want to do a Kickstarter
X
for me,
has all
bro,
the frames,
I am down.
It's got the teraflops. It can do it.
Yeah,
you don't
while you're at it, do one for me for the South Park game.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. All right.
Hey, I've actually entered myself into a contest to try to win that game for you.
Oh, nice! Thank you.
So
I need that game in my life.
I went to I actually went to the micro, like, because I told you I was going to buy that S or whatever. Yeah. I went there, and while I was there, because since the S was on sale, I was like, well, shit, I'm gonna go check the games, because if it is, I was just gonna buy you the game.
Oh, damn.
But it wasn't on sale, so that I'm gonna have to talk to my wife and try to. I can maybe work some magic. I can't promise you anything, but if I can, then you'll be pleasantly surprised here tomorrow.
Rambo is a magician.
I gotta try to make my wife see that it's okay to do that.
Work that oh shucks boyish charm.
Yeah. But I mean, it hasn't really. I don't know when she actually said that I could buy an Xbox One S. I was kind of like
caught off guard.
yeah. She's like, why don't you just get it now if you're gonna get it? So I was like, what? It's like I was fully expecting Happen to talk you into it over the course of shopping, and now you've thrown me all for a fucking loop. Like, I don't know, really. I don't even know. Now I don't even know if I want
it. It's not going to feel like I earned it.
Yeah, I was like this isn't right.
Too easy.
You fucked me over on this one. So I got to figure out now, like, really how, like, what's actually going to happen. I really don't know, because I'm really confused.
So the S will just be so you can do comparisons?
Yeah, I won't even use it just to do comparisons.
Okay.
And I just want to, just because since I do write for the site, I'm tired of seeing everybody comparing the X to the Pro, and I fully understand the people that don't understand, that came from the S to the what's it called? The S to the
X.
To the X. I can fully understand why they don't understand, because like they've been playing at lower resolutions all this time. So I mean, to them, they're like, wow, man, this thing is amazing. And Digital Foundry is doing the blowing up 300 times in order to show you the difference. But if you've been playing on the Pro for quite some time, and then you get the S, there's really not that big of a difference. Like you've seen the screenshots. There's really not a difference that you can actually tell. And so many people are so concentrating on can the X beat the Pro that I think that, like, writing articles based on the fact that if you do own a base Xbox One or an Xbox One S, that this is the reason why you should upgrade, is because look how much better your games can look. Look at the difference in detail, because that's where you're really gonna. I think the screenshots are really gonna show the big difference. Is a 720p game upscaled to 4K versus it being 4K or whatever form of 4K they're referring to on the X. But being able to see that difference in detail is going to be a much bigger. Oh wow, that's amazing! Rather than from the Pro to the X, and I was gonna do like that. I still might do the article, but between the Pro and the X to see if people can actually tell the difference because I want to kind of expose some people with their bullshit. But at the same time, I really think that the best thing that can sell the X, because it's a really damn good console. I think that anybody who's an Xbox owner definitely should have one. But I think that the real thing that's going to sell it is being able to see the difference between the system that you own and the one that is the upper version.
Yeah.
And not too many. I mean, for some reason, there's so many people that have the X and the S in a different room that actually work on the Loot Gaming site, and not a single one of them are actually doing that video or that article. And it just, if I don't know, it puzzles me as to the reason why they're not, because there's really a big difference between the X and the S, and I think that that's really what needs to be highlighted. And that's the reason why I'm thinking about buying one. Because since it's relatively cheap right now, I think I want to do it so that way I can show people actually what the difference.
Yeah, the only difference I noticed was like I was telling you, the lighting and a little bit of detail. You said that was HDR.
Yeah, that's the HDR. The lighting part is definitely the HDR. I mean, I couldn't tell any detail like as far as graphics go. I mean, maybe if there is some, it was like a fractional amount.
Yeah, it's tiny.
But that's, like I said, that's the difference between the X and the Pro. And if you look at it, I mean, if I'm trying to sell you a $500 console and you're playing and you have, say, if you have a PS4 Pro and an Xbox One S, how is that going to make you see something differently? It's going to make you go, oh, it's really not worth it. You know, it's not, because it's really not that big of an upgrade. But if I show you a screenshot of a 720p screenshot, and then that screenshot I showed you, it's going to be like, oh shit, I got to have that, because that's definitely, you know, like makes the games look 10 times better. And I don't know why. I think Microsoft is missing their mark with the marketing, because I think that they should be marketing the differences between the S and the X rather than the X and the Pro, because I think they're just trying to right now like show Sony what's up or whatever. But I think they're missing the mark with their audience.
I think they should use the S as their competition. They'd be
I
their
think
own
they should
competition.
too. They should, because I think that would bring more S owners over to the X. And then they could actually start maybe even getting to the point of actually focusing on what's it called? Focusing on
exclusives
for the X.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why people seem to think that they're going to build games from the ground up for the X.
No, it'll be from the ground up for the S, and they'll enhance it for the X.
Yeah, the people are like, no, it's easier to scale down than it is to scale up. I'm like, oh god. They were like, well, they do it on PC all the time. They develop for the highest end PC, and then it just scales down. I'm like, no, they really don't. They really don't. I mean, they just don't. So just shut up. I was like, for the most part, it's like they always develop for the lowest common denominator, then port it to PC.
You don't build a house from the roof down, guys. Come on.
Yeah. It seems common knowledge, but apparently it's not as common as what we all like to think common knowledge is. Well, Pete, you know, like don't they basically scale up? Pete? Oh.
It depends. I mean, most engines these days are designed with some variability already in them. For the non-PC only games, they usually start with the consoles first, because consoles are a lot like the lowest or middle range PC. So that's a decent like midpoint. And then they port the anything needed for either the engine, the graphics, or whatever, anything that needs to be changed for the PC, they change it over, and then they build like 4K resolution textures and extra tessellation stuff or whatever it is. Yeah, usually it's like from the mid range up, kinda, and then they just kind of shut things off altogether for the lowest PCs.
It's just funny to me how people think that like they're like, I can't wait to see the games from whenever they start building games from the ground up, and then on the X. I'm like, that's just not going to happen because they still have the S. Like that's an important market to them. Actually, their most important market right now.
And that's the thing. The X is so similar to the S anyway. I mean, it's almost the exact same hardware. It's just tuned a little differently, and I think they used a little bit higher quality chips somewhere. I can't remember. But as far as the actual like components go, that's the same exact architecture, same exact chips, just running at a different speed. So it's not like it's a whole lot of a difference if they would build it for the X first or the S first. They're both building for an 8-core Jaguar running. Yeah.
In the X.
Yeah, it's
still a Jaguar,
it's
yeah.
It's the same thing. I bet you dollars they just build for both, and they just keep in mind a few key, graphics features or something. And when they're testing in the early stages, they see, oh, well, this one makes kind of a big difference. So why don't we just, toggle this one on for the X or whatever, something like that.
I think that what they'll do for games is like Halo whatever will be built for the S, and then not scaled up, but put onto the X with a patch to increase the frame, either the frame or the resolution on the X. They're not going to build a game for the X and then try to patch it down to work on the S, because the X is never. I mean, I'd say they're not going to, but I mean, it would take the X to be a lot more popular within the Xbox community for them to actually do that, because they're 90% of their business is on the S.
What was that? I'm back.
Well, somebody said that. Somebody thinks that. Yeah, somebody thinks that Microsoft is going to build a game where they're like, say their next exclusive, say like Halo 6 or whatever, is going to be built on the X from the ground up.
And not the moneymaker, which is the S.
Yeah, and because I always tell them like it's going to be built on the S, and then patched in for all the updates on the X, like it is now. Like it's not going to be some.
It's not going to be built on the X first and then patched backwards.
Yeah,
that'd be dumb.
Like they were like, well, that's what. Then somebody tried to tell me, well, that's what they do on games now. They build for the highest end PC and then scale down. I was like, no. I was like, Battlefield. I think Battlefield's like one of the only developers that will build on the PC first. Like the rest of them all.
Crysis and CryEngine, and then EA did a bunch. I don't know if they still do. Like I don't know if Titanfall 2 is a PC ported over to console
not.
Or yeah.
It was like.
I mean, there's still all the PC exclusives, obviously. That then go, like PlayerUnknown's that then go to consoles, obviously.
Yeah,
but,
obviously.
I mean, as far as like, yeah, Activision, Call of Duty, it's kind of the same thing. The Xbox and the Sony both play like middle of the road PCs, or maybe slightly lower or slightly higher or whatever. So they just kind of build for those and slide over, and then just kind of enhance it for better computers and let people disable some shit for lower PCs.
Those that game on both console and PC, play Battlefield on your Xbox or your PlayStation, and then play Call of Duty. They feel completely different. Battlefield feels like a PC game, even on a console. Yeah. I mean, and then you go to play Call of Duty, and it's a lot more arcadey, and it feels different. The mechanics. Probably doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but some will at least.
Sir, you just don't make sense because you're a casual fucking pleb.
Well, it definitely doesn't make sense to these people that think that people build for the highest end system and then scale down.
Yeah, only Crisis.
I've never like I was like where do you get this at? Like how has this ever been a thing? Because why would we be talking about a lot of console ports running poorly rather than PC ports, because they'd be built for the PC and scaled down to the console.
There's more money to be made if you build for the lowest common denominator and go up.
Oh yeah.
Not everyone has the, high end.
I mean, look at World of Warcraft. That thing is so far behind any other game as far as like engine and graphics technology goes. And you can even make it look pretty goddamn pretty if you want to. And you've got the hardware for it. But it'll run on the lowest of the low shit boxes if you really want to as well.
Dude, I played World of Warcraft on a compact laptop.
Right? I mean, I remember playing that thing on like, dude, it was regular DDR memory, I believe.
Yeah.
I hadn't even upgraded to DDR2 yet, and I was running some AGP card or some stupid shit like that. And I mean, it still looked great. It ran 60 frames a second.
Yeah.
Fuck.
People. Wait, what did you say? Game Talk? How can we sound like a hamster? I don't know.
Hey guys, I'm Brimstone the Hamster, and I'm coming to you live out of Rambo's Corners basement. There's a lot of women's underwear down here, and it's kind of weird. He's got a lot of different type of lipstick. I would say this was his wife's, but I found this in his ammo crate. It's kind of weird.
But what if it was her ammo crate?
Then I'd say you got yourself a keeper, sir. Oh, fuck.
So, I mean, do y'all think it's a bad idea to buy an S?
No. Do whatever the
Not
fuck
for
you
what
want,
you're going to
bro.
do with it.
I mean, you have a more justifiable reason to do it than most of anybody else. You're actually looking at covering fucking stories with it. You're going to be able to really speak from a place where not many of the Xbox community can speak from. So, not everybody owns a fucking an X, an S, and a standard. Okay, like that shit just does not happen.
And a Pro.
And a Pro.
Yes,
yeah.
I plan on doing the
And
exact same.
PC, technically.
Yeah, technically, yeah. I plan on doing the exact same thing with the PS4. Is like getting the like using my son's base PS4 or the PS4 Slim, and then like comparing it to my Pro. I just don't plan on maybe like buying one for myself because I have so many PS4s in my fucking house that I don't really have to. I can just borrow one of my kids' and be good.
You sure? I saw that Call of Duty camo one today. It's pretty good looking, Rambo.
That was like
awesome.
That's the one that my son's getting, and that's that's $299, and I just have a hard time spending $300 just to do comparisons.
Yeah.
So I just came to the realization, Shane, that I literally have every single submachine gun maxed out to its core.
Yep.
Submachine gun. Such a peasant.
So is it worth me buying Call of Duty on Xbox One?
Yeah. I'm always on it. We could play together. I mean, you'll actually have people to play with, so yeah.
Even though I suck, you'll still play with me?
Yeah. Dude, you know how many fucking snotties I gotta deal with early in the morning to play this goddamn game? Yes, I'll play with you.
Because I'm definitely not going to be helping you win any fucking matches. I can tell you that.
That's fine. No, it's good. Like these.
There are
Every
matches
team-
that I
every
get
team
3
needs
kills
one
and
scrub.
he
It's
still
okay.
plays with me. So.
See, Shane
'Cause
sucks, and I still play with him. No.
Shane's probably like a gaming god. Is that compared to what I am? Like, because I've told y'all pretty much that I'm basically just the running dummy. Like, I'll try shooting people, but it just doesn't usually work out.
Nah, you're good. I plays with you, sir. I does it.
Because honestly, I would like to actually get every Xbox One and every Xbox One X enhanced game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it's getting fucking costly at this point.
No way. What are you talking about? Costly?
Do y'all
This isn't costly
y'all
thing.
play Killing Floor 2 on there?
No, I don't have that game yet. I have it on
Okay.
PC, but I don't have it on console.
Because that's one thing I platinumed it on PS4, but the rate that you get experience, like once you get in the higher levels,
Mm-hmm.
is so fucking long that like it's just a grind. And so if you don't have anybody to play with, that grind is like really fucking long. But if you do, then it can go by a little bit faster, I guess, because you have, you're just having fun rather than trying to grind for experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna say, if y'all had it, then, because that's another Xbox One and X enhanced game. I was gonna say it's only $39.99. I'd buy it and actually have somebody to.
Yeah, if I had it on Xbox, I'd totally play with you. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That'd be badass. My like I like it on PC. I think it's a great game. It's pretty fun.
Well, it's a fun game, yeah. I'm not quite understanding this whole Mario Odyssey thing. I've been playing it while I'm on here, and it's just weird.
Really? Like it looks like it's a lot of fun. Like it's...
Oh, it is fun, yeah. But I mean, like, I don't understand. The world's not set up in a way where like exactly where to go. So it's kind of like in some areas, it's like, what do I do? And like, how do I want to be able to collect everything and get it at 100% because me. But I'd like to, but I don't know how to do that because I don't know really where everything's at and how to do it.
Right. Yeah. So we have an oldie but goodie in the audience. He just came up.
Who's that? Omega Jim.
Omega Jim, dude. What's up, dude?
What is up, Omega Jim? Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I hope all is well with you, bro. He's the one that did our art, right? Like our characters and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to look and make sure we're still the South Park. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I still use it, bro. I still use it. In fact, it's gonna be my next video coming up on my Brimstone's gaming channel. Like I still rock that shit. I love it.
Have y'all been having any problems with like ads appearing on your YouTube videos?
What do you mean problems? Like not having ads?
Like with
or...
like with like Adpocalypse or anything like that, or are y'all not really affected by it at all? Or, I haven't really uploaded.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not really bothered by it because I'm still doing what I like to do at the end of the day. Like I still like making content and rendering videos, recording the footage. That's all part of the fun for me. So like I love making videos. So I don't really care what happens with the Adpocalypse because I didn't originally start out YouTube to make money.
Oh yeah.
So.
But I mean, they're still running on like ads.
Yeah. They still are. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, that's never gonna change. They'll tell you that you're not allowed to have ads running on your videos, but they'll go ahead and put ads on your videos so they can make money on it, right?
They just won't give you the money for it.
Well, no, they keep it. That's how they make their money now.
Yeah.
That's their new way of making money.
Like this isn't advertiser friendly for you.
And
it's perfect for us, but not for you.
Yep. And to me, like, if you're gonna be saying shit like that, you need to be, ideologically accurate. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be 100%. Cannot be one way or another. Like, it has to be, hey, your shit is kind of, more adult orientated than it needs to be. We're just not gonna put ads on there. Not fucking have me log into your shit and then like, hey, look, there's ads on my video. Like, fuck.
Yeah, I don't. Whatever. I mean, I think if they say it's not ad friendly, then that means they shouldn't be able to put ads on it too.
To be honest, I think it's better in the sense that like it's keeping the users a little bit more honest with their shit. You know what I mean? As far as the integrity of their videos, like they're not turning this into another certain YouTuber that thinks that he's owed something for making videos on YouTube.
Who could that be?
Certain Twitter situation that took place the other day. He said, "If I don't want to misquote anybody, but I'm pretty sure I will be not so accurate with this." But he said, "In order for me to upload another video, I need to get paid for this shit."
Yeah.
Yeah. You fucking scrub lord motherfucker. Jesus.
Who said that?
Your favorite commentator's favorite commentator.
Oh God.
Times
I grabbed that dick and balls.
But here's the thing, man. Like, here's the thing. Like,
I can't understand why people don't want to advertise with me, motherfuckers. Like, really,
bro. And you know what though? Like, and like to a degree, I would agree with him in the sense that there's worse videos out there that are getting monetized. You know?
Well, yeah.
But like, to be so into yourself to think that YouTube owes you something is like beyond me. Like, motherfucker, you came here with nothing. You had nothing. YouTube's algorithm is what gave you your something. So don't fucking act like people owe you something. Jesus Christ. Like, nobody needs to get paid from this. It's just nice that they do. You know what I mean? It's like working.
Yeah.
It's like working a waiting job, right? Like, you're not going to be guaranteed something, but at least you have a fucking job. You know what I mean? Sometimes.
Yep.
So like that's how I look at it. Like, this isn't my job. I'm not making tons of cash, hands over fist. I made a nice little couple of bucks here and there. It was pretty nice. But that was over years and years of fucking build up. That wasn't PewDiePie money. You know what I mean? You guys shame that. Like, I showed him what I got. Like that was literally years of build up from my blog and my vlogging channel, because I have like multiple things connected to my AdSense account. And I guarantee you, if I was to have just a Brimstone's gaming channel on there, there would have been no way in hell I would have made what I made. Never. Not in a million years. I'll put it this way. I paid for my Blue Yeti microphone twice.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's pretty good, because like the only thing I've ever been able to achieve off of YouTube is a half a pack of gum.
I once was able to buy a McDouble from McDonald's.
You really was? Like that?
Yeah.
I would have been considering like that like a successful month.
It is.
Because like, because I could get like a half a McDouble, like just a Mick. Like I couldn't get the double part.
Like I look at it this way: if you don't like doing YouTube videos, then you shouldn't be fucking expecting people to pay you to do YouTube videos. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I
think the whole Patreon thing is cool. Like, I think it's great that, you know, you got people that
if you're actually utilizing it.
Yeah, if you're actually utilizing
the correct way.
Yeah, in a correct way. Like the whole point of a Patreon video is quite literally a Patreon video. You don't get to sit there and be like collecting money from these people and be like, well, you need to pay me more if you want me to play that. Like, no, fuck you, bitch. You got a Patreon account. You're getting paid
a video game.
And to play a fucking video game. It's not like someone's asking you to go make them a sandwich, you fucking cunt.
Yeah, whenever I heard that, like, I was watching the live stream and he's like, I got the money for it's like, not like I don't have the money for Battlefield 1, but if you want me to play, you're going to have to, you better start donating. I'm like,
bitch, right?
How does that work?
Like, he is the prime example, dude. Like, I hate to say this. I hate to use anybody as an example, but he is literally the prime example as to when, you know, there's no such thing as enough money without actually being a business person. Like, he doesn't own a business. He doesn't do business. He gets, you know, transactioned into playing fucking video games without having to work an 8-hour job or clock in on somebody else's clock, which is good for him. I'm glad for him. I'm happy for him, actually. But to sit there and be a self-righteous prick about that shit? No, man. Like, fuck you, dude. You don't deserve that money.
Yeah.
Man. You should be more thankful that people are fucking giving you money to play video games, you fucking prick.
I can tell you right now, if I was doing a Patreon and making what, like last I checked, that they were all making.
I would probably inflate my Patreons like with tons of videos that are good. That's what I would do.
But they would be making like the last I checked, they were making at least $900 each a month.
Yeah.
And if I was to right now, if I was to create a Patreon and somehow was blessed to be able to make $900 a month, there's no way in hell I would ever ask anybody or suggest that if somebody's like, hey, will you play I don't know, fucking PUBG? Well, I wasn't really planning on buying that with my $900 that you've been giving me, so give me some more and I'll think about it. No way in hell. Like,
it's
my
greed.
$900.
It's greed.
Yeah, my $900 a month would go towards the games that I want that month, and then the rest of it would be like all giveaways for my fucking people. Like,
bro, so check this out. If I made that kind of Patreon money, this is what I would do. I would reinvest into my equipment. I would reinvest into my podcast members' equipment. I would invest money into us. That's what I would do. If I was able to make that kind of money with our Patreon, I would set up shop somewhere dedicated for this kind of thing. I would do pretty much what every other YouTuber's done so far. I would have made sure to reinvest into my own business, my own brand.
Or give back to the people giving to you.
Exactly. Well, that's what I mean. All that.
Yeah. Well, reinvesting is, but I mean, I'm just talking about even monetarily. Is like if one of your viewers are like, damn, I really wish I could play PUBG, or I really wish that I, whatever, and they don't have, like, say they don't even have an Xbox, or they don't even have a PlayStation, or they have one, but they just can't afford that game. Say, here's you a fucking code. Like, give me your address, I'll send you a fucking PlayStation,
Yep.
That would be like
like, honestly, that's where I give credit to One Stop, because that's what he did.
Yeah, I mean, that's my type of...
Yeah, he invested his money into his own people, and it was like a big thank you to them. Like, I give him credit with that. Like, that
the only thing I don't like is he ended up holding that over that person's head.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. The only part about it. But yes, I agree that, I mean, like, the act of what he did without...
Yeah, the initial deed was...
Yeah,
good.
was definitely good. I mean, because there, like, I don't know. I mean, I would love to start a Patreon and see where it goes. But at the same time, is that I don't want to. There's so many, I guess, negativities with Patreon, or people looking at you in a certain way, like they look e-begging.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is like, if anybody knows me, or if anybody would be a member of the Patreon, they would also know that there's not a single bit of begging going on, because when it comes to buying shit, I don't really seem to have a problem buying shit. Like,
right.
We've noticed.
So I mean, the
right.
Things,
that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like,
yeah, the thing that the Patreon would be for, literally what Patreon is for, to get not only better content from me, or like I could then fund, like, the research, because sometimes I might have to go out and actually do something to get the research done, because not everything's at your fingertips.
Right.
And then I would also be able to put back into the people that invested in me, and I just wish more people that had the Patreon would do that. Like, because Philip DeFranco is.
Yep.
He has a Patreon, and
dude, he changed his life with his money. He moved all the way from. So he was originally from California, moved to Miami.
No, he was originally from New York.
Oh, was it New York? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I knew he was in California. He lived in California first, and then he ended up going all the way back to Miami, Florida, because he got ghosted by some chick or whatever. Found out it was a little girl, and then he stayed in New York after that, and then he moved back to California just this past year or so. Like, I think, like, that kind of thing is awesome. Like, if you got the money to do that and people are willing to support you for that, to me, that's not e-begging. E-begging, to me, is when you open up a GoFundMe with no real goals intended whatsoever. When you just want something from somebody without giving back to them. That's fucking e-begging.
I want to buy PUBG, GoFundMe.
Bro, that's how Rich Review Tech USA started off. He was like, yo, like, I just want to, I want to do this with this. And then people were like, yo, you're e-beggar, dude. Because he was e-begging. And same with douchebags fucking, when that cast first did their, before they were officially the cast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were e-begging. They were asking so they could buy shit that they wanted. They didn't say, oh, we want you to buy into us or give us money so we could, invest into ourselves. No, they didn't say that shit at all. You know what I mean? They just wanted to buy shit. That's all they wanted to do.
Yeah, I remember the leader of that one was like, people wanted him to play Switch games. He's like, buy me a Switch. Like, what? Like, how are you? I can't fathom. I could not fathom the idea of the people at the Game Talk here putting money into a Patreon or a GoFundMe for us, and then me being on the cast going, you want me to play what? Well, fucking buy me the damn PC, and I'll play it. Like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you already are paying me.
Yep.
That'd be like going to your job and like you're a janitor. Go clean the toilet over in the women's department.
For an extra paycheck.
Like, yeah, where's my fucking paycheck at, dude? Like, I'm only here to collect the first one. Like, to make me do anything while I am, you have to pay me extra. Like, well, how the hell does that even work? I don't. And then people are the followers are like, well, okay, well, here you go.
Bruh,
how does that?
Like, that's some shit though. Like, I remember like 5 or 6 years ago, even asking people for money, you got fucking trolled off the internet. I mean, I remember Rich was like on the verge of leaving YouTube because people were calling him out for that shit. And now look at
household.
It. Like,
it's like a household theme. Like, who was it? What? Shit. God, I cannot. It was something. I just had it in my damn head too. It was so frustrating that I just had it and now it's gone. Well, I mean, like, oh shit, it was just there too. It was coming back slowly. Fucking old age, man. Well, I mean, like me, okay, like y'all see that I obviously it was just like going out and being able to buy that stuff was because of a back payment, but that would be like me, like after buying that, going, well, I need you to buy me something. Like, how do you broadcast like what you buy and what you have, and then ask for more? Like
how do you have the balls to do that? That's my thing.
I don't know. I've never if you like one day, like if I was talking about say Detroit Become Human, and I was like, shit. I mean, like, we, since we're friends or whatever, and like money's tight, and I'll have to get it at a later time, and you decided to get it for me. I would feel fucking terrible because I just have this pride in me that it would bother the hell out of me if that happened. But I mean, that would be a legitimate reason for, like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd be able to say, okay, you're my friend and here you go. But that would bother me. But to be able to go out and go, hey guys, buy me this shit. I could not even, I would be embarrassed to even walk out of my house, even though nobody on the internet would even see me. I just could not imagine begging for money or begging for a product.
Bro, I think it's because their patrons like have learned to accept it. You know what I mean? Because
they're willing.
You see those drama videos where like their patrons, because their patrons are calling them out on their shit, and then like a month later everything's good again. Because I think it's just that's part of the conditioning them, dude. Like they've learned to accept that, you know, douchebag's gonna demand shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen them ban their Patreons and then demand money to get unbanned and still get paid. I don't. We have the wrong crowd. We have the wrong followers. We need to wipe our followers clean here and go get the ones that will just continually pay us for whatever the hell we decide to. Like, I need a sex change. Y'all need to pay it. Mean, will you pay for a sex change for me?
I don't know. I think he's into that kind of thing.
Oh, the shit. That would be a problem.
Yeah, well, like, he's Pete's #1 fan.
No, that is true. I think Meme and Pete really have something going on.
Yeah, whatever. If you guys say so.
What? Oh, I like Battlefield. Okay. I was like going. Well, he said the gameplay gets boring, and I was trying to figure out like what he was talking about. I didn't see Shane's tweet about Battlefield 1.
It does, because it's not much of a change of scenery.
They don't really have much in there.
And it's a limited weapon selection because it's World War One.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's such a backward step for that game, for that franchise. Actually, you go from like a Battlefield 4 or a 3 where you have plenty of weapons, you never get bored of them. Like each class has a fucking plethora of them, right? But then you go into Battlefield 1 and you're like, what am I playing, like a hybrid Call of Duty with like limited weapons? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And even this Call of Duty has more weapons than Battlefield 1. Like, I mean, come on. If that says
Battlefield,
like how limiting that shit is.
When I played the little bit of multiplayer that I did with Battlefield 1, I wasn't really impressed.
You know what sucks is it's actually a fun game. Like, it really is. It's a fun game, but like you get tired of it so easily because you don't have the options or the diverse options of picking shit for your character like you did in all the other ones. You know, you had all the taunts, the knives.
Yeah, but I mean, to go from Battlefield 4 to Battlefield 1 was like a night and day difference. Like it was a drastic change.
Yeah, it looked prettier. Like BF1 definitely looked prettier, but like
oh yeah.
But for what you paid into, like you actually got content that was far less in value than what you got for 4 and 3. Like I mean, simple, really.
And we won't even talk about Hardline.
Yo, even Hardline, had more content in it than fucking BF1, bro.
Is Hardline considered like a spin-off, like a say a Halo Reach?
Kinda, yeah. It's like its own thing. I actually liked Hardline for the console. PC, nobody was playing that shit, but console, dude, it's still populated.
Wasn't Hardline actually made by a different company or a different studio than the one that makes the regular Battlefields?
I think I don't remember. To be honest with you,
Pete, you would be the one that knows.
What was it?
Is Hardline made by a different studio than makes Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4? Like, wasn't it made by a separate studio?
I know it was a different one than 4, I do believe. I'm not sure about 1. I think so. Because I believe most of the people who were at DICE who worked on 3 and 4, I believe they either quit or left or something before, either right before or after the launch of Hardline.
Okay, there we go. Shadowkin said that Hardline was made by Visceral, and
I was gonna say Visceral, but I wasn't sure.
And then I guess the regular Battlefields are made by DICE, because DICE is like it was like a really big change, because like Hardline was really a really good like the campaign looked amazing, but the multiplayer was just kind of confusing in comparison to a Battlefield family. It was not a traditional Battlefield at all.
No, but it was cool though. Like you could keep them from robbing your cash truck and shit. Like I liked it. I thought it was actually really neat. Like I love the way they did it.
It was definitely different.
Yeah, I like those one-off games though where they change the formula up to see if it works.
Well, see, I didn't know that. I guess EA or DICE or whoever did allowed that. Like I figured that all Battlefields were had to be made by DICE. I thought they.
I think the thing that really killed it for the PC gamers was the fact that the large amount of reused assets from the past games was like what really killed it for a lot of people. When they come out in a statement lying to everybody when data miners go in there and they find out that, oh look, these are all assets from like fucking 3. What the fuck? And 4.
I don't even understand data mining. I don't know how they can tell like that from code.
I don't know either. Fucking hackers, dude. I don't know. They either data mine for it or they go into the game's assets folders and they check out what they have going on in there. But to sit there and lie about it, though, that's one of the reasons why I think EA is getting so much hate, besides it just being loot boxes. It's like, whoever is in their PR department is like a compulsive liar, dude.
Oh, yeah. And completely out of touch with his audience, like as far as like what gamers want and what gamers like and everything. I mean, he's basically looking at gamers as a number on a spreadsheet rather than numbers.
Right. Well, like, we gotta make our shareholders happy. I'm like, I understand,
yeah.
and I feel like I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I truly think I get it, but you gotta find that happy balance. You can't just make the customers all happy, or guess what? Every company that was dedicated to doing that, you'd be fucking broke. You would never make money, ever.
No, because I mean, like to me, I look at E more like a Polygon. Like they happen to be involved in games, but they've completely lost the plot with their audience.
Yeah. How do you do something for so many years and forget what it was you were doing it for? I don't understand that.
I don't know. I mean, it should be like second nature to all of them, but I think once EA saw the amount of money that could be made on microtransactions, they simply lost the idea that they're actually developing for humans and not just numbers on a spreadsheet. Because I mean, if you look at their spreadsheet, you'd see that I can understand where they can say gamers want microtransactions because they're making what $8 million a year, or $800 million a year, something like that. But like if you actually broke that 800 million down, it was spent by a few people, and not really the wide majority of gamers. And they're taking it as I had this large number, so that means a lot of gamers want it.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, you know what? We did so well on these cards last time. Let's go ahead and beef up the fucking bullshit that make it harder for them to get since they bought so many from FIFA or Madden last year. It's like, you fucking pricks.
How long do you think before Capcom has to sell their IPs?
Aren't they kind of like on the verge? Like, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think Infinity War. What's the newest Marvel vs. Capcom that just came out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Infinity
I
War.
forgot what it's called though.
Infinity War, yeah.
Oh, it is.
That's not really helping them, I don't think.
Well, no.
No, and then you have like the remakes that they're doing though, like on PlayStation, and then you have not really the remakes, but the remasters, and then you have almost every one of their games that they make now are some sort of console exclusive because they can't afford to spread it out across all three or all the platforms, and whenever their final product is usually mediocre. So I'm just wondering if like we'll get to a point before, like, instead of because I can't imagine, like with Devil May Cry 5, Sony dumped in money to Street Fighter 5 and then ended up getting kind of screwed over by Capcom with the way they released the game.
Oh yeah, they fucked it, dude.
So I can't imagine that Sony would be willing to put either if they put money into Devil May Cry 5 to get it exclusive. I would imagine they're a lot more hands on with this than they were with Street Fighter 5, and kind of making sure the product is a good product. But the history with Capcom, like even with Dead Rising 3, that was like the beginning of the end with them. But the quality and the content and everything is kind of just as a downward spiral for every game. Yeah. And so I'm just wondering how long before they actually have to start selling their IPs, because I don't think anybody's going to buy them as a company. I think that the only thing that would probably end up happening is some IPs being sold and them trying to hang on to whatever little they had left.
The thing is they have lofty goals with their games, and they never finish them. Like they've gone through this huge, like, retarded ass fucking way of thinking. Yeah, let's go ahead and make a broken game and we'll just patch it later. Like, seriously, that's all you get, dude. Like, Street Fighter 5 doesn't even work on Metrox's PC anymore, dude. That dude's got a 980 GTX, and it doesn't work on his PC anymore.
That's sad.
What kind of fucked up shit is that? And that was after their last patch, dude. And plus, bro, they don't even fucking, like, respond to their community. Like, people will they'll go to the forums and shit. Don't even respond. Don't even fucking care, dude. It's bullshit. I feel.
Yeah,
I kind of feel
Capcom
like
has gone downhill.
Yeah. I feel if you spend that kind of money like we did on Street Fighter 5, like, you should have a say-so in it, like, whether it needs to be fixed and whatnot. All they've done is release fucking character after character after character, and then they try to put a second fucking season pass on that, and then they never fix their online when it comes to cross-platform. It still plays like shit. So, like, if I was to play against you when you're on PlayStation, dude, I would be laggy as fuck for you, and you'd be laggy as fuck for me.
Yeah. Did you?
Go ahead. My bad.
Did you? Oh, did you hear the new thing that PlayStation's doing? Very key in marketing.
Oh, really? What
is that they've selected a few accounts. Well, I don't know how many, but a few PlayStation Plus accounts, and are offering to send out a Skyrim VR bundle to your house for you to try it out for 14 days. If you like it, you keep it for $300, which is like $100 and something off the about $100 off the current price. But if you don't like it, you just send it back and no big deal.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a way, because
that comes with all the equipment with it too.
It's the whole entire bundle. Yeah, it's everything that you need. And so this will allow people to. How are they going to
get them back?
They send them out in a prepackaged or with a box with a packaging label to where you just basically package them back up. It's selected by account. So like I got a code. I can do it if I want to. But since I already own PSVR, I'm not going to. But what they do is that, like, if I put my code in and get it sent, then they charge my credit card on file $300, or they put a hold on it. And if I don't get it back, if I don't get it back within if they don't get it back within 10 days after the 14 days, then the charge goes through because they've assumed that I want to keep it. But I mean, it's still a way, because it's kind of hard, like you said. Everybody always says it's kind of hard to market VR because you can't really. It's kind of hard to see it. And so this is a definitely good way to get the VRs out there to where people that are maybe on the boundaries to maybe either make that leap or not, because they're actually being able to test it out themselves.
Yeah. That's cool. That is cool. I mean, it's going to cost them a lot of money to do all that, but fuck it. I mean, if you're going to reinvest it somehow, I guess that's a good marketing demo. Hell yeah, that's a great idea.
Oh yeah. I mean, because apparently a lot of people haven't tried the marketing demos that they have at like Best Buys and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I guess this is another one step further, I guess, to make sure that you can get VR in people's hands. But I guess I don't know how they decide on what it counts. I guess maybe how much money you spend on the store, or if you have a credit card on file. I'm not sure, but when I got my code, I was like, like saying, well, this is a person that definitely is
that spends money with this, and
yeah. I would imagine because I've never signed up for anything and got a damn code. I'm like, no, I'm good. I already got it.
You should do that as a giveaway, dude. To whoever would be interested.
A $300 giveaway?
Well, yeah, actually. Whoever, like, just tell them, just warn them ahead of time, like, it's going to take $300 for them to get it, but at least they would have access to it.
Well, wait a minute. Is that code linked to your account?
Yeah, like if I got it, like say, because people are asking for my code, and I'm like, yeah, no, because so if I put my code in, it's going to automatically link it back to my account, and my credit card on file is going to be.
All right,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I mean, I would definitely do that, but somebody's going to send me the $300 first.
Yeah, that's good.
Could you imagine explaining that one to your wife?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah. I'm like, babe, is that, no, I wouldn't do it. I'd be having this podcast from the street from here on out. With a doghouse in the back.
Your wife would
The
be
local
like,
Starbucks, as long as they're open.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
Did you hear about Omni Destiny?
And the what?
You know who Omni Destiny is, right?
No.
No.
The streamer named Destiny?
Nope, no idea.
Yep.
Alright, he's another SJW. But he was on a stream, I guess, with some people, and somebody asked him a question about child porn.
Oh God.
And he actually said that he was trying to go between the moral aspects of child porn and the pragmatic aspects of child porn. And he was like, in the pragmatic sense, it actually makes sense because studies have shown people, pedophiles with access to child porn commit less actual crimes against children. And so
that's not how that works.
Yeah, I was like, but for some, I was thinking, like, do you not realize that the children that were in the fucking child porn have been harmed? Like,
well, that's exactly where I was going with this, actually.
Yeah, I was like, how do you? I don't.
So you're gonna increase. We're gonna go ahead and help a nasty ass industry, right? A disgusting fucking one at that, to expand. For the sake that other pedophiles don't touch children, that's not how that's gonna work.
Yeah,
that doesn't.
Not in my lifetime, it ain't.
That doesn't work like that. The more you expand on something like that, the worse it's gonna be for the children, anyways. So regardless if that one person isn't gonna touch anything, how many videos are there gonna be made with those children being touched for that guy's benefit? You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking retarded. He might as well just get shot in the first place. At that point, along with the people in the industry.
But I mean, like we called it, like they're gonna eventually try to make pedophile and child porn and all that stuff like a kind of a regular, like the porn industry, just like, well, hey, you know, we already have porn, we might as well have child porn too.
Man, like seriously, give me the fucking parents that would sign their children up for that. Give me their names. Like seriously, that's.
Oh yeah.
The dude that went around beating pedophiles with a bat, it's sad that they actually put him in jail. That's fucked up. It was like the Batman for pedophiles.
Yeah, no kidding. Did you hear about the California, Pete's good whole home state there, that decided to let a illegal alien go after he killed a woman?
Yeah. He was found not guilty.
I didn't see this.
Yeah, I forgot what the lady's name was, but he had a firearm. He was a legal alien, had a firearm, and from what I guess people are saying that it was accidentally discharged, which there's no such thing as an accidental discharge. It's just called
it just went boom. I don't know.
Mishandling your weapon or whatever. But it ended up killing her. Well, instead of getting charged like involuntary manslaughter, which it should have been at least, they said, well, instead of doing that, we're going to just deport him. But he's already been deported 5 times.
So what I do, I went ahead and
obviously deportation's not working.
I went up onto their Twitter, checking out their interactions with their community.
I think California did this to basically spite Trump.
Like. And you know what? There's not a whole lot of people talking about this software.
It'd be kind of sad to know that they would willingly let a person that murdered or killed somebody go just so that way they could keep the numbers low.
Trying to figure out
and how many illegal immigrants have killed Americans.
Before I go further, I just want to stress to you guys that in no way are they paying me to do this.
I'm surprised you didn't hear about it, Pete.
Actually,
KCRA
or contrary.
I don't watch news, bruh. Not on TV. Come on now.
I'm surprised y'all didn't even see it through through Facebook or whatever, because it's been.
I know it's been online lately very much. I haven't been checking my phone either or anything, so.
The headline was different. It was undocumented immigrants, not illegal aliens.
Yeah, right.
Starting a YouTube page.
It's like my firearms should be undocumented.
He's just undocumented. That's all. We just need documents for him, and he'll be okay.
Lifetime license, and I was.
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, man. Wait.
Sorry about that, guys. I forgot that I was hosting, so.
What did you do?
I was checking on my video on the quality because I just uploaded a video and it just, it went through. So, well, that secret's now out. Hey, you guys, I got a new video coming in. God damn it.
At least you weren't testing it with porn. Or your own homemade porn.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
That could have been really bad.
Yeah. Like, Metro comes down here, he's all, you know they could hear that, right? I was like, oh, son of a bitch, I'm hosting! Like, god damn it!
Leave it to the gay man to tell you.
Yeah. So,
or if it could have been really worse about, like, you and Metrox's porn you were testing with.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I would have.
Pete was like, okay, I'm logging out for the night. You guys have a good one.
Gotta been like, y'all can find me at the Game Talk Part 2. I'll set the channel up tonight. Brim's gone full weird on us.
Full weird.
I'm fat for your mom's pussy meme lover. It's, whew, I'm full.
Brimstone sounds fat. Is he fat? What's his weight and height? I don't. It's like I don't know. I've never measured him, and I
am fat and I'm 6 foot. Come at me, bro.
Okay, so guys don't sit around talking about their waist size, and
yeah.
I mean, maybe Metro, but I mean,
especially ones that play games, unlike
I'll
shut up.
We're gamers. I mean, like all of us are going to end up being round.
Oh, meme lover. He was talking about, what was it? His mother's pussy?
Yeah.
So he was saying something about your mother's pussy. There you go. I just wanted to make sure he heard that.
Well. So what's your new video about, Bram?
Yeah, what's that?
Okay. So I reached out to this company. They come out of Guangdong, China. And
What'd you say?
Guangdong. Shut the fuck up. I know it sounds
That's
dirty.
the name of the place?
Guangdong, China.
Dude,
yes.
we gotta visit there.
Wow, man. Like Guangdong?
Sounds like a magical place.
Yeah, it does. Doesn't it? Sounds like a perfect place for Metro.
Yeah. So I hit them up. I saw their software. And they were on their site advertising to be able to screen record 4K at 60 frames per second. And I was like, this should be interesting. So I went ahead and reached out to them. And these guys, the next day, hooked me up with a pro lifetime license. I didn't even ask them for that. I just asked them if there was anything I could do to help them, because nobody's talking about this. I searched YouTube. There isn't a single English-speaking motherfucker who talks about this shit, right? So I'm like, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the video myself, because this is actually a pretty decent video. Recording software. Like, it records software, right? But it also has a video editor built into it at the same time. So if you don't have a video editing software yet, or you're not using anything for free, like, this is actually kind of perfect for you. Really. It's really nice. Like I said, they hooked me up. They didn't have to. And so I went ahead and I did a bunch of screen recording tests, like on different bit rates and stuff, because you have control of your bit rate. You have control over, like, whether it's going to be lossless or not. It's pretty fucking cool, man. So, yeah, I went in and checked some of the footage out. Looked pretty good, and I went ahead and I did a video telling people about the software. So it's going to be unlocked probably around, like, 4:35 a.m. my time. That's, like, perfect for everybody else, so. And I tell people, if you guys are really interested in this software, to go and check them out. Like, seriously, go DM them, tell them Brimstone sent you, and tell them you want to check out their software. And it's pretty good shit. And like I said, they have a free version, which isn't all that great. It's like 720p, I think, is the max you can record at 30. And then I think you have I don't know if you have a watermark or not, but it's still pretty fucking cool.
That's not. I was wondering how you was getting into sponsorships or whatever.
Well, and you know, all you got to do is ask, dude. That's all you have to do. Like so for those of you that don't know, my Brimstone's gaming channel got an affiliate with Coolpix. And I got an affiliate with XSplit. So XSplit made me an official affiliate, so I got their elite branding on my header now. I changed up some of the channel art. So, like, I'm really trying to go somewhere with that channel. I don't want to just focus on the negative stuff, so.
You have, what, 30 months of XSplit to give away?
I have 30 months, 2.5 years worth of XSplit to give away. So anybody that's down with live streaming or video creation and you don't want to use the limitations of OBS, because it has a lot of limitations with OBS if you're not careful with it. I mean, look at this live stream, for instance. We could barely keep it up half the time. But
you're not using XSplit on this live stream?
No, I'm using OBS. I'm using OBS.
You're a bad affiliate.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You're affiliated with XSplit, but you're using OBS.
Well,
yep.
Well, to be honest,
knows what I'm saying.
To be honest, they did only affiliate Brimstone's Gaming. They didn't affiliate fucking.
Okay, so you're technically just like keeping it to the one channel. You're not you're not fully behind him. You're only behind him on one.
Yo, man, I'm just saying, like, hey, come on, you want to do that? Like, come on in. So,
I tried looking at. I downloaded XSplit before, but I, for some reason, could not. I couldn't figure it out because it's different than like OBS, so it was too hard for me to kind of figure out.
Yeah, XSplit, there's a lot to it. There really is. There's actually, I would even say, as far as like, there's probably too much to it, to be honest with you, because OBS, you can just like set your scenes up, get your kilobits per second set up properly, and you're good. With XSplit,
you don't even need to do that if you set it up with the easy mode instead of advanced.
Yeah. Yep. And if you try to, if you try to fucking do that shit in XSplit, you're gonna be there forever. Like, I'm not gonna lie, XSplit's really hard to use sometimes, but when you get that shit figured out, it's so fucking worth it because the quality of your shit goes straight up. And that's why I use XSplit. Like XSplit, I like the quality a lot better. Not just because they fucking I'm an affiliate with them now. I'm just saying.
You bought 2 years of it before you became an affiliate.
You know what, Shane? I wasn't even gonna say anything, man.
No.
No, I know.
Well,
I know.
What the fuck?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the guard dog eating the mailman.
Huh?
My neighbor came to my door.
Oh, I was thinking that somebody had like a soundboard or something.
No.
That thing just ended perfectly.
No, but he's right though. I bought 2 years. I bought 2 years of it, and I really enjoyed it. Like it's a really good software. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't have bought it. I actually bought it at a chance, because like I was reading their patch notes, and I was even telling Shane like it looks like they really changed up their game, because at the beginning XSplit, like they were trying too hard, I think, to brand themselves to be this elite thing when they weren't. Where OBS still had the edge on them, but now I think XSplit's got that foot over them a little bit. So it's not bad. It's pretty good. I like it. I think XSplit's really worth it at the end of the day. Like I'll have, like I said, like I got what is it? When I say 2.5 years worth of XSplit to give away. So if you guys haven't yet, go down to Brimstone's gaming channel and hit it up. And I'm going to do a video after this one to do the giveaway on. So for those of you that are interested in doing video creation and live streams, they offer you both XSplit and Gamecaster at the same time. So you could choose which one you want to download, and you could download them whenever you want. And Gamecaster, a lot of people usually use that for video creation. They just want to capture their games, but they don't want to use like Shadowplay or Relive. But yeah.
No. Gamecaster, I always thought was more of the OBS version of XSplit. It's pretty simplified.
Yeah, it's simplified. Yeah.
Matter of fact, you could probably use Gamecaster to stream the podcast, and it would turn out pretty good.
Yeah. Ogre asks, would you fight in a war against North Korea? I guess.
For this United States of America? No.
I don't know, yeah.
If they came to California.
I might join North Korea.
30 or 40 years ago, yeah, I would have fought for this country, but now, no.
Yeah, it's
completely different country.
This isn't the same country it was when we were kids. That's for sure.
Don't get me wrong. I'm still proud to be an American. I love America, but not enough to die for it. Sorry.
You're a monster, Shane. You're a fucking
It sounds
monster,
shitty, I know.
You're a monster, Shane.
Yeah, you wouldn't die for it either, motherfucker. So don't call me a monster.
No, like I'd probably find people to come on the front lines with me, like that black woman that thinks Hitler did nothing wrong.
Operation Get Behind the Darkies.
Yeah, at least that one.
So meme. Like, what are you gonna debate me on? Are you just gonna come in here and troll? I mean, that sounds like something you would do.
Not meme.
Meme lover, yeah. That's all he does is troll. I mean,
do you even have a handful of functioning brain cells to debate? I mean,
other than talking through your fucking nose like a pleb. Like, that's what he did last time we actually talked. Like, all he did was he was trying to, like, mask his fucking voice, dude. I was like, really, dude? Like, you literally have a YouTube channel with a video up with your voice in it, and you're trying to mask it like a fucking autist. Okay, a real debate about what, bro? I'm willing to do this if you come in here. I don't care. What's this real debate about?
He's like, it's a surprise.
Right.
I just had a fuck ton of fun in 06 to 2015. Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. That is, yeah. I mean, I get it, man. Like, early 2000s for me were, like, that was where my fun was, too. I don't know. That's why I asked you. You're the one you want us to debate, so you pick this. You pick the topic.
Is Pete not feeling well?
No, Pete's been pretty sick lately. He's not doing well.
I have.
That's why he's been offline too. Like, I saw you the other day, Pete. And I was like, damn, dude, what the fuck you been?
No, right?
Because he's going through the same shit that me and Micro went through. Like, we like fucking were passing around this sickness for fucking days. Just would not leave.
Oh, I'm getting it.
But honestly, though, as I'm looking at this footage though with this game capture shit, it's actually pretty nice, dude. Like I might actually switch to this. See, like the thing is like I have an unhealthy addiction to software, so. So like I have screen cap recorders for days on my Steam library. So in case like Relive doesn't work or OBS doesn't work or if this doesn't work, I have like 3 other fucking things to do.
Dear God.
You want to debate about an opinion? An opinion? Really?
Twice the air.
That's not a debate, bro. That's you showing
It's
your
an
opinion.
argument.
It's an argument. That's not a debate.
It's a petty argument at that too.
Right? That's how I know he's trolling. He's not
Right?
serious. Yeah, he's not.
Pick something more important, bro. Come on. Go with the big gun.
Right? I mean, if you're gonna troll or if you want to actually
Go
debate,
big or go home, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like what you guys did to us on the last show on Twitter, that was actually going big. I could actually say that was a good troll. Ah, man. But I guess we could come up to the end of this if you guys want to. We have, let's see. This has been an hour 49 on my end, and the cast has been going for 3 hours and 10 minutes. Did you guys want to keep it going, or is there anything that you want to talk about? I know AMD is launching a new software suite. Pete, did you see that?
No.
They're gonna change it from Crimson to Adrenaline. And
I like the name better.
Every time they change it, it becomes worse. I want fucking Catalyst Control Center back, damn it.
Fuck that! That shit was garbage.
No, dude, it was great.
It was garbage. What are you talking about?
Oh, it was great.
You are high.
Gave you all the options right there. It's dude,
I
it's what
still
they
have
went to
those
for the extra
options.
monitor options for forever.
You're high. You are very high.
I don't even know what you're
Rightfully
talking
so.
about.
Yo, meme, that's not a debate. For one, if it actually was a debate, you would lose because it's fucking stupid.
Well, there's
Two.
no, there's no what if. That's just not a debate. It's like Shane. It's like me saying, you are a worthless piece of shit. I would have to go in and to say why you're a worthless piece of shit, but that doesn't necessarily mean you are a worthless piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like it's not a fact. It's just an opinion. It's stupid.
I might think I'm special. I don't know.
I know I am.
Well, okay. Well, we're coming up towards the end anyway, so it's all good. You know what, meme? I'll let you think on that. You could hit. You know how to hit me
Get
up.
back to us next time.
Yeah, meme. You're in my DMs. You're in all of our DMs actually.
Sounds good, like-
Jesus.
But Chris Cole,
Kirk or Picard. Now that's a debate, sir.
what's going on? Chris Cobra, he came in from the link from me sharing it on Twitter or whatever. But
Oh, nice.
thanks for stopping by. Like we've been going at it for about 3 hours, but
Yo,
Yeah, I
this is
definitely would not-
technically Rambo's 5th hour.
yeah, yeah, because I was on her podcast.
Uh-huh.
For,
Yeah, that's why I said that.
but I would definitely take a zombie apocalypse right about now.
Zombie apocalypse, cocaine, all the psychedelics, all the zombies, all at once. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll just settle for some cocaine. Has anyone got any of that?
Bro, we live in a town that's like capital of distribution, so I'm pretty sure we can
Yeah.
find something.
Yeah, this is true. To Walmart I go.
Right? But
Stranger
anyways,
Things.
PC versus console? All right, we can set something up this coming up cast, all right? We
For
can do
Wednesday?
that.
What
Yeah, for Wednesday.
what side are you going to be on? PC or console?
I could be either one, really.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I mean, what about meme? Is he going to try to argue both sides?
That's the most autistic argument in the world, by the way.
Yeah.
No, PC's good. No, fuck you. Console's good. And it's like he's just talking to himself, right?
Teraflops.
Metro, Walmart away.